Oh, ready. Are we ready? It is Friday, my beans, and I'm alive! Can we get a hi? Yeah! Do. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? I hope we're all doing well. Happy Friday. How are we doing all? I hope we're doing fantastic. How are we? Rusty, getting on in first arenas. How are we doing, Rusty? I hope you are doing well, my friend. How are we doing? I hope you're doing good. Getting in that first and claiming the daily beans, of course. I'm a big fan of that. How are we? Nutman. How are we, my friend? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. You're currently cooking for the dependents. That's fair. I've been putting a dry rub on a rack of pork ribs that are going to go in the oven a little bit later, so I'm very excited for those. So I'm like, how are you doing? Do you smell that? Smells like updog in here. I think you'll find it smells like cute little kitty cat. Or is it smells like what the Rock is cooking? If I knew more about wrestling, that would have been funnier. How are we doing, Johan? I hope you're doing good. Verity, hello to you on the YouTubes. How are we doing? I'm glad that's coming through okay. How are we? I hope we're doing good. I'm glad that's all coming through well. I'll bite. What's up, dog? Not much, dog. What's up with you? Wee. I'll do you one better. Where is up, dog? I'll do you one better. Why is up, dog? But when is up, dog? At 4:20. Oh, good lordy. So much is going on right there. This is all carnage. Oh, which is wild.
Let's go.
Oh god, what's that? Wait, everything's kicking off. Super Weasel coming in with a Prime Twitch sub. Thank you so much. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Hello to you. Catching back up at Chatteroonies, where are we at? Banana God, welcome on in. Hello to you. How are we doing? Well. Jimmy Poucher, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hernez, welcome on in. How are we? I hope you're all doing well over on the tubes. How are we? Shrimples, how are we, Shrimp? How are we doing? I hope you're doing good. Hoya from the new Shrog household. Well, hey, you've moved. That's fantastic. I'm glad the move has all gone well. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. And Frogs, of course, how are you? I hope you're doing good. How are you both? You both settling in? How are we? I hope we're all doing well. Back when The Rock was good. Whoa. There's a lot of things happening there. What is happening? Rusty going, good, more like technically competent wrestler. I feel like there's some things happening right there. a lot of dramas. Oh, where are we? Doing alright. Rusty said, I'm trying to keep an eye on Jack and also cook up combinations using a Mark 6 Jump Pack Marines and the Mark 6 melee weapons kit I found. Yes. Found. Did you find it in a place where you just happen to exchange money for said goodies? Oh, but yes, how are we doing? I hope everyone's doing well and everyone's having a good day. It is of course Friday, so we are going to chill out today. We're going to do a bit of a double thing today. I've got to finish building the Custodes Dreadnought, which I've been working on since we last streamed, but I just need to put a few little bits together for it. Once that's done, we're going to move on to the already partially painted Custodes Shield Captain, and we're going to get her painted up a little bit more. And hopefully if we have time, do a little bit of marble basing. We can get some of that work done today. I mean, it's been a weird old week. Unfortunately, I was incredibly ill at the start of the week, so we didn't stream on Wednesday. So I had basically Monday, Tuesday off work, went back to work on Wednesday, and then on Wednesday I was just like, oh, no, this is hit far too hard. It was too much, so we didn't stream Wednesday as a result. So apologies, I hope we're all good. So yeah, tell me what you've been getting up to. Are we all hyped about the new Orc announcements? With the Codex coming out and everything. So yeah, I hope everything's good. And of course, we didn't stream Sunday either because I was at a wedding. So I feel like I've missed a lot of things. So keep me up to date with what you've been doing. Verity said, double productive. Hell yes. Let's hope we can get the double productivity going. I still haven't moved in yet. Started on the decorating. Just gotta wait till we get our gas and electrical checks done on Monday. Ooh, so close. That's good then. And I can has a bath. As somebody who has been only living with a shower for the last couple of years, you have no idea how envious I am of that. I love a good bath. Just like just a nice relax, which is like whoo, which is very, very good. Johan has pre-ordered the deluxe codex and started painting up another boy. Ooh, nice. I have seen your orc boy that you've been painting up, which is very, very cool. What's the did you have a particular clan you're going with? I feel that's the right term for orcs or for it. It's been interesting seeing about this codex because a lot of people are both happy and sad, and I've not really met anyone who's kind of one or the other. They're both kind of like, there's a lot to be happy about, but then like the combination of all the kind of like the war buggies into one data sheet has kind of made people a bit like but I feel like otherwise it feels like a pretty good. It's going to set the tone. It's 40k is in a weird place at the minute because we're in 11th edition rules with the no 11th edition armies, so it's going to be really interesting here. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But yeah, so I'm intrigued to know what's going to happen there. Naman has finished my tank, just painting the 3 vampires to ride the Coven Throne. Ooh, I like. Where the yes, the Rock is in Star Trek Voyager's giant punchy man. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him appearing in there. It's bad enough being tall, but and not having a bath at all is horrible. That's fair. You know, you need a nice. Sometimes you just gotta have that soak. Wait, did the Space Wolf Codex release and I didn't see it? No. They decided for 11th edition they're going to get rid of that army as it's no longer valid. It's just not needed anymore. And you know what? I wholeheartedly support the decision. So yeah, they all died. Verity is having a little work decompress, and then we're going to walk to the shop. Well, hopefully you don't get caught in any rain. How's everyone been weather-wise? There's been quite a bit of rain in our side of the country, in our neck of the woods. So how has everyone been doing with that? So it's not been. We are at kind of like a potential flash flood risk, but it's not like we haven't had that yet. So fingers crossed. So one extreme to the other, from a heat wave in the UK to potential flash floods. And it's like, I just hope there's like a consistent amount of rain just to save all the grass and everything. No particular clan, but I want to do the various tones of green skin. Black and red, but not necessarily speed freaks. Ooh, I like that. I do like the new Orc Boys, I have to admit. I think the Nazdrag is a really, really nice sculpt, and it is going to be fantastic to see that painted up. I'm very intrigued as well. There's a couple of the Ogre Moortribe stuff that is going up for pre-order. That does look very cool, like the individual releases and stuff for it. That went up at the weekend. I didn't treat myself, but I feel like that butcher model. I have plans. I have conversion plans for that way when I get around to it. Slendy, how are we doing? I hope you're doing well. How's things going? I love a little shop, David. I do love a little shop. Every Space Wolf is now a Blood Raven, all in Space Wolf armor. Yeah, that seems fair. I mean, canonically, prove to me that isn't the case. Just saying. I'm just saying, you know. Prove to me that this Blood Raven is not actually, you know, this might. How do we know that this is not the exact same thing as what's underneath the Space Wolf helmet? We don't know these things. But yeah, like I said, I hope everyone is doing well. We are. Oh, I have something new to show everybody. Actually, I have a new thing, and yeah, I'm gonna switch screens and I'm gonna show you the new thing. We changed a thing. Ooh. We've changed the camera slightly. We've changed the camera border. So I'm now in a rectangle instead of a hexagon. we moved over to the rectangle for it because there's a logic to this. The one thing I would always give advice for if anybody is the one thing I'm terrible for when it comes to content is to watch back my own content. I'm very much like I really get frustrated doing it sometimes because I get sick of hearing my own voice because it's like I have to watch back a lot of my like calls at work, so I'm like but so the hexagons haven't gone away. The hexagons are still in place for guests just because it's easier to do that one. But I changed this mainly because I spend a lot of my time doing this, looking down. And I realised in the hexagon, when I was watching back some of my content, mainly everybody saw was this. and I'm like, that's not useful. So I was like, if I make it technically longer, then I might be better at actually staying in frame. So yeah, it's a FaceTime facecam. Oh wait, it is the FaceTime one, isn't it? Every now and again I'm just going to switch around. You're just going to stare at the wall because I've flipped the camera by accident with my thumb. But yes, so I was doing this just before stream and setting this up, so I was like, okay, let's see how it works. Takes up a little bit of weirdly less space, which is kind of nice. And always trying to adapt, improvise, overcome, adapt. Don't show people my bald head as little as I can when I'm painting. That's the goal. Where are we at? I want them to release Legion of the Damned as a Chaos adjacent. Ooh, the Legion of the Damned used to exist in Space Marine codexes, didn't they? But they don't anymore, which is very sad. I did like the Legion of the Damned. Okay, so if there's something that is no longer part of the GW kind of like Space Marines chapters or kind of factions that are heavily supported, what would you swap it for and why? That's what I want to know. What would you like to bring back? Slendy Big Spendy's walked up a mountain today. Couldn't see a damn thing because of the fog. Ooh, at least you didn't miss the mountain. That was a bad pun. Ooh, was it a good mountain climb though? That's the main thing. Everyone's like, new things. No hexagon, it looks cleaner. Verity likes it, which is good. Now man, now I must guest and break it. Haha, I thought about that. I didn't change the hexes. I'll figure it out another way. At some point. Oops, excuse me. Coming soon, dodecahedron camera frame. It would just be like me and a D20 just rolling around the screen, like everyone can like rotate me around. Where we here? But I'm glad everyone likes it. It was a bit of a change. I was just like, we'd had the hexagon for a long time, and I was kind of like, I didn't have any problem with the hexagon itself. It was just more the fact that when I watched my content back, I was like, yeah, I'm getting really bad at not being in the frame, so this longer one might hopefully help. Let's hope anyway. All Blood Ravens are Alpharis. It's very hard to prove that isn't otherwise. I mean, ultimately, there's only one Alpharis, technically. So it's like, maybe, who knows? So, we'll have to see what happens. Snowblinky, how are you doing? Welcome on in. I hope you were doing fantastic. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Squats. I mean, squats are, you've got Leagues of Votan, and squats exist in Necromunda. That's those, so they do kind of exist still. Elysian drop troops. Didn't they when they added into Kill Team? Or was that a different unit? I can't remember what they did with those. I can't even remember. Is it the new house has a shed, which Fox has already said we can keep our 3D printers in. Hey, that's awesome, Shrimp. That's going to be amazing. Hobby roll for initiative. D20 face cam. Make it a redeem. I need to make it. I was debating about bringing back the silly face cams for a little while ago when when you can turn me into a potato and things, but I don't know why I didn't. There was a reason. I can't remember what it was. There was like a practical tech reason. Welcome on in, Musty Warhammer. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. What chapter is this? This is Adeptus Custodes. On here, so we're going to be working on today. I've got to finish building this dreadnought up for it. Once it's built, we're going to get back onto painting up some more of our Custodes. That's what we're going to be working on. But how are you doing? And do I like orcs? I like orcs. I don't have many orcs though. I have to admit, I don't have many orcs. The orcs I have available are ones that we have painted up for charity. So we have our great big pink squig. We did this for charity. It's one of the few orcs I have available. For it here. I've got this one, and so, which is fine. I do like orcs, but it's never an army I've ventured into. How about yourself? Do you like orcs? Oh, let's grab this here. Do you read YouTube messages? I do read YouTube messages. I was just catching up on everybody else in the chat as well. So do not worry, I was catching up with you. I've got plenty of. We've recently just finished. Working on this really nice orc here. I painted it purple, so it might be a little bit hard to pick out some of the details, but it's a really nice purple orc, and it's a duo squad. So I've got two of them right here. So yeah, really happy with those. So, Johan, you have the same mind on that one. I love it. You've got plenty of purple orcs. All the purple orcs. All of them. Any hoozles, so far my plans for the jump pack Marines are 5 Marines, a guy with a power maul, a bolt pistol to proxy as a chaplain with jump pack, a captain guy with 2 lightning claws, a captain guy with a power sphere, and of course a smash captain. You gotta love a good smash captain, right? They're always a good shout. They're always a very, very good shout. Where are we at? Right, Futurama with the kids while we eat, but I will return. Enjoy your Futurama, Nat Man. I hope it is a good time. Where's my brain at? Where's my brain? Where's they're my favourite. I love orcs. I do like the orcs, I have to admit. Heresy Custodes are also 40k Custodes. Yes, yeah, they have confirmed that everything available will be everything that currently exists in plastic will be playable in 40k. But they've kind of said that it's like some of the stuff is very much more, what's the word for it? You can swap out the models interchangeably, and a lot of them have legend rules. I'm hoping with the new codex that comes out, this will all be actually playable, because they were one of my favourite factions to play. So I'm kind of really hoping that's going to be the case. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But I hope so. But yeah, it'd be nice to do. The only ones that probably won't be interchangeable are like Veldor and Trajan Valoris, because obviously they're specifics to their time. Yeah, good Futurama or new Futurama? Hey, new Futurama's alright actually. I've been enjoying the new Futurama. So care to explain where... Okay, so care to explain where I went after I posted my reel the other day. I can't find my orc now. It's because they're sneaky. Orcs is a sneaky. Have you checked everywhere else? Checked on your side? The orcs be sneaky, you see. Oh, let's drop that down here. And it's going to put some water in my wet palette. Are you in the US? Because Warhammer costs a lot here. We are not. We are UK based. So we're in the UK, the home of the Warhams. And don't worry, Warhammer still costs a lot here too. So yes. No, but you showed yours just now. I mean, you say I showed mine just now. I now can't find it. And how do you know it's mine? Maybe I stole yours. Evening, Sanjuro. How are you, my friend? I hope you are doing well. Not sure what would be missing, but perhaps bayonets on a bolt gun. We need bayonets on a bolt gun. And more shovels for Death Corps of Krieg, right? So there's definitely what we need. Someone tried to tell me The Simpsons is good again, and then sent me an episode where Bart became a pro gamer, and that was why I have trust issues. You know, I've been enjoying rewatching a lot of The Simpsons. I'll be perfectly honest. I've been enjoying watching a chunk of it. It's been very nice. I've been rewatching from it back, and I definitely feel like there was a level of nothing's ever gonna. Here's the thing about nostalgia, and this is a really good point, and it was one. Who said it? I think was it Jack's Septicai? Was he who said it? He goes, things are just as good as they used to be, but how you feel now is not how you felt when you first experienced it the first time. And I was like, oh, that felt really, that hurts. But yeah, no, I can get that. Yeah, I lost my purple orcs like a week ago. No. Oh, but yes, it's yeah. Damn it, just like expensive magic Pringles, we've both been foiled. I love it. That's a good one, actually. That's a really good one. The expensive magic Pringles. Oh, which is true. I would still be interested in a Beast Arises early 32nd Millennium style orcs. Yes, that would be very cool. I feel like now that they're venturing into the Scouring as a book series for Black Library, I'm very intrigued to know if we're going to get any models from that period of time, which would be very cool if we do. Have you been to Warhammer World in Nottingham yet? I have indeed. A fair few times. It's good fun. It's got the best prices in the world. Everything is basically has a 20% off. Not at Warhammer World itself, I have to admit. Warhammer World is the same price as every Warhammer store and their website in the UK anyway. Everything's the same price. It does have a much better selection at Warhammer World. However, there are most independent stores and stockists in the UK sell at about 20% off. But Warhammer World itself is the label price that it is on the website for it. But I know that sometimes if you're looking at it from the exchange rates, because when GW export, they factor in the export or import costs into the prices and then exchange the price. So it can definitely look like it's a bit cheaper. But no, I've been to Warhammer World a few times, and they very rarely have stuff on sale, which is very much one of those. They very rarely have stuff on sale, but they have probably the best selection ever. And one of my favorite things about going to Warhammer World is looking around at the random books that they have and the random like kits, because they have all their Forge World stock there as well, even though it's kind of all merged together. It's nice to be able to pick everything up, which is very cool. And sometimes they also have really fun exclusive models. So they have like some exclusive Heresy models, some exclusive Age of Sigmar, a Titan head. They've got exclusive stuff there, which is very cool. Which is always very fun. Speaking of very fun, I have a snack. I have a new snack today. You ready for a new snack? I have... Ta-da! I have Mint Club McVitie's Digestives. Woohoo! I always like finding random new digestive flavors. Last time we had the Jaffa Cake ones. Now we have Mint Club Digestives. Although sadly they don't have like the really cool like mint cream fondant inside, but they're a good time. They taste surprisingly exactly like a Mint Club. So I'm like, it's basically just a mint digestive, which is actually really nice dunked in coffee, I have to admit. Oh. But I was kind of hoping, like a Mint Club, it would have like the little label of fondant on them. So, why have the Mint Club label though? I think it's a collaboration. They seem to be doing a lot of collaboration flavors at the minute. So they did Jaffa Cakes. You've got Mint Clubs, and to be fair, it tastes exactly like the same mint as a Mint Club. I have to admit, it's a good time. I'm like, ooh. Where are we at? Yeah, but I do too, because my uncle works at the factory and has an entire first edition kill team. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. They do look after their staff very well. At the old Games Workshop, they do, which is always a nice thing to see. And especially if you work for Games Workshop, you normally get a pretty decent discount as well on product, which is always nice. To paraphrase Dale Gribble, I'm skeptical, but could be intrigued that they may. That's fair. I might secretly in another chat. Oh no, we're also streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on both YouTube and in on Twitch. So this chat here is, if you see the little symbols, if they've got the Twitch symbol, it's for Twitch. If they've got the little YouTube symbol, it's the YouTube. So it's available on the screen, but it doesn't merge the chat in the over here to the side, or if you're watching on mobile down there. So not secretly, we just we're live technically in 3 places right now. We're live on YouTube Normal, YouTube Shorts, and Twitch. So yeah. So it might look like sometimes I respond to comments that you can't see, but it'll all be here. Speaking of Warhammer World, did you hear that the event being planned for November mustered something? I need to get on planning it. That's the problem I've got. When it may or may not happen, for reasons which I will reveal closer to the time, as long as I know the reason, as long as I have the reasons. Which sounds like a really weird excuse, but there is a logic to it. There's a lot going on outside the stream, and so I'm trying to be like, yeah. But I'm hoping it'll happen. The main issue at the minute is I don't have a car, so my main thing at the minute is to try and source a car, because getting a train from where I am to Nottingham, whilst it's only like maybe an hour and 40 minutes to drive in a very simple drive, the trains are a nightmare to get there. It's really bizarre. We're in a weird, you have to make 4 different connections. It's really stupid. And it takes 3 hours. Really, really weird. Yeah, now I'm thinking there is a KD officer called Colonel Mustard, and now wants a Clue version of 40k. Who killed the heretic? You know what? We've had Cluedo versions of Magic the Gathering. I'm sure we could get a Cluedo version of 40k. There's 40k Monopoly. Maybe Cluedo might not be far behind. If anyone at Hasbro is listening, I'll just let you know. Right, let's finish building this Custodes Dreadnought, shall we? Where do I put the instructions? Down here. There we go. What is everybody working on this evening? What minis are you working on? What you kind of getting up to? Let me know what you're doing. We are going to be building this guy as the Galatus, because I want him with the sword and shield. Although I don't know if I'm going to glue on the sword and shield today, because it might be easier to paint those separately. So, where are we at the moment? So we have the shield, which I think I'm probably going to do marble. I think we'll marbleize the shield. And on this one, the sword, yeah, I don't know what colour I'm going to do the swords. I haven't painted any of their power weapons outside of silver yet, so quite a lot to think about. And what I wasn't expecting to do when I was building this was I had to glue on the thumb. Like, for the hand, there was both the hand and the thumb were all kind of separate pieces on this, which was like, ooh, I haven't had to glue on individual fingers of a model from Warhammer in a while. But all trains must go through London or face dragons across country. It feels like it sometimes. It feels like everything has to go through at least one of the central hubs. I'm going to try and find time to hobby, but no promises. Oh, is everything okay? Or are you just, what have you been getting up to? What am I looking for here? Parts. Oh, this is very weird. I've got to do 2 bits simultaneously, but they use different parts. Okay, right. Where am I looking here? Alright, so hold on. Let me glue these together first. There's my glue. Glue. So these bits. This bit gets glued onto here. The hard part of this is I won't know the angle of the arm until after I've glued it, which is a little bit annoying. Finishing up the first tactical squad from a Mark 6 Marines for 3rd edition. Yeah, I love the fact that there's more and more people seem to be playing older editions, which is really nice to see. I'm very much enjoying seeing this. Stuff outside of stream, I'm shocked you have a life beyond the stream. Shocked, I should say. Well, not that shocked, I know. How dare I have a life? I'll be honest though, sometimes it's a bit simpler being on stream. It's like, ah. But yeah, no, me and Verity are fine. Milkshake is fine. We're all healthy. We got some logistical things to figure out. So we'll be, as soon as we know more, we'll let you know. Which will hopefully be in soon. And okay, so that goes there. But the main thing is we're all okay. All is well. Just been a long week and don't want to feel the burn. Not forcing anything. That is fair. Is that why you've been working on the palette cleanser on some orcs, taking a breather from Mortarion? Just taking a step back and just being like, I'm just gonna take a little light breather right now. Do whoop do wappa do ba da ba do wappa do. And ooh. Let's clean up, trying in here. Come on. I think I'm slowly running out of some Tamiya glue. Stay. 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 Got it. That's that build down. And then we've got... Right, I need some parts now. I need parts 110. And I need 2 of them. And I also need 106 and 109. Do 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 do. Doop. So many parts. So many parts. 106. 109. Where's 109? Am I blind? 109, it's over there. I was debating about magnetizing this model so I wouldn't have to faff about with worrying about which weapon options for it, but I was like, I mean, if I was going to get one, when I was going to buy the Forge World one, I was going to get the one with the shield. So I was like, well, that kind of is fine by me. So if I have to pick up another Dreadnought, I have to pick up another Dreadnought. It's not the worst in the world. These have been very fun to build, if not slightly on the fiddly side. But I mean, to be fair, the fact that they've converted such a beautiful Forge World kit over to plastic so well I'm happy for it to be slightly fiddly. I feel like they are doing a good job of it. Do you think we'll eventually see the full retirement of resin kits? Because I'm not sure. I don't think we will. I'm kind of very much like, nah. I think the resin kits will always have a place, especially for certain like small batch models, character models, and things like that, like the Heresy Primarchs and the like. But I don't know. I think we're definitely seeing a nice changeover. More and more stuff is becoming slightly more like just plastic friendly. Right. Yeah, so it's more like it was also more like to get out of the flat for a day. Got a new hobby shop opening up on Wednesdays. I was at a hobby hangout, so I went to more socialise and had an orc with me instead of Morty. That's fair. Ooh, I like that. I like that. And also love the fact that you're getting a new hobby shop opening up in your area. That's fantastic news. We are not. This is our side of it. We haven't had our hobby shop mentioned that they're opening for. Well, that's not true. We've had a hobby shop say that they are going to open, but then no, we've not had anything about it for a while. They did a crowdfunder. They got almost all the money that they were looking for, so we're seeking to kind of cover the rest of it. Then there was a previous hobby shop that closed down that then said they were going to find a new location, reopen, but that hasn't quite materialized yet. So I'm kind of like, oh. So we are unfortunately hobby shopless at this moment in time, which is a little. It's just sad. And try around. Is that? I click this on the right way. Yes. This is a very weird way of gluing things on. I'm like, wait a minute, where does this go? There? Ah, that goes there. I think. No, that doesn't look quite right. Wait, where does this go? Well, that goes there. Oh, hold on. No, that way? Because that goes in the little indent. No. I don't know where these go. This is very confusing. Like, where do you go? Hey, Super Weasel, my friend. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. How are we, buddy? How are we? You just joined at the perfect time to watch me struggle to glue a part of this model. In true fashion, it's me struggling. That's what you all tune in for, right? This is a weird connection here. Okay, hold on. So it gives me a little side profile of it. So if I'm looking at this from this angle. Oh, hold on. No, I'm completely misreading. This is meant to go over this. Oh, yeah, no, I've really messed up on getting this the right way around. So that's meant to apparently go... No, wait, that can't be right. No, apparently that's right. This is meant to go over here. Okay, yeah, no, I'm an idiot. Don't worry, that's just me being an idiot. I was like, why haven't I got a good visible instruction of this? There is, I just didn't look at the next step because I thought this was still the same step. But anyway, this is what it should look like. And I was like, okay, kind of like that. So this goes here. It felt weird that it was going over the other, what already looked like an armor plate. This then goes there. So when you look at it from that angle, that should be what you see. Okay, cool. Yeah, me being an idiot. It goes that way. That is it. I know. I know what you guys have come to expect from me here. Struggles with a smile though. That's the main thing. As long as I can keep that positivity flow going. How's your day been, though, buddy? I hope you're doing good. What have you been getting up to? Okay, so that's that one done right. Now I've got to do it again over here, but this is all slightly different angles. Indeed, it's so nice. I really hope they manage to make it make ends meet. Yeah, I'm. This is the main thing at the minute. Like we talk about hobby shops closing down and things at the moment, but they are struggling. Like a lot of the hobby shops in our area, obviously, just are struggling and eventually closing, which is just very unfortunate. But it is just it's a tough one out there at the moment. Is that right? No, have I done this wrong again? Where does this go? Oh, that goes there. Oh, it's because he's bending his arm. Oh, of course, that makes sense. Okay, my brain is not braining right now. And that goes there, and then this one slots into this gap. Nice and easy does it. That goes in that one. Okay. Yeah, very different arms. Right, and then glue those into these bits. With which bits? That bit, apparently. Seems odd. Oh, is this just giving me options in order to orientate the arm slightly? Oh, okay, that's cool. I can choose slightly how to orientate the arm. Okay, well, I'll lightly glue it in for now, and then I can reposition if needs be. But no, yeah, I think LGSs at the moment are a real struggle for a lot of people, unfortunately. Like, anybody trying to run an LGS at the moment is just, in all fairness, is not having the greatest of times. I feel like it's a tough economy. People aren't spending as much as they used to on hobby and toys, which is, you can kind of understand, really. I feel like I'm not putting these arms on correctly. So that's meant to go there. This is actually a very good instruction. Now actually reading the instructions properly, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I'm so used to just kind of going, I'm going to make this work. So it goes there. This is actually telling you on this symbol which of the little holes to put it in for which particular dreadnought you're building. Which I very much appreciate. Okay, so arms in. Arms. Then these go into here. That does not look right. That definitely doesn't look right. Let's go. Look at that. That looks right, I think. No, I'm so confused. Why are these instructions making no sense? I'm so confused. I don't understand. I feel like I've royally messed something up. Is it meant to be that way round? I think it's meant to be that way round. Oh no. Oh no. I was joking about the struggling when you came in, but I'm like, oh no, this has fully turned into a watching the stream and not have a clue how to build stuff. Okay, so that goes that way. This then attaches that way. Okay, that makes more sense. So have I done this one also wrong? Yes. So I failed at the first hurdle because I put this in the wrong piece, the wrong bit. It's meant to be that facing outward, not facing inward. Okay, I'm with it now. But yeah, but I have to admit, when you get a good hobby shop, though, to get back to the hobby shop conversation, they do tend to, if there's a good community nearby who appreciates it as a community space, you definitely get a lot of people coming around for it, which is good. I, for one, am here to sit under the learning tree and ask questions of great import, like which paint should I use first? How does this look? Why is plastic glue? But why plastic glue? Why plastic glue indeed? Unfortunately, when times are tough, hobbies are the first to go. Yeah, I found like I also get what I just need and been holding back on spend a lot. Just been sitting here that needs to be work. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of that. Apart from this box of Custodes this year, I've been very lenient on what I purchased. And it was the same last year, unfortunately. But luckily I've got a big enough backlog that I can sit and get through those, which is good. Which keeps me very occupied, which is nice. So, the Custodes boxes was a nice purchase when I was able to. I'm kind of nervous that when they release the next box, which we're kind of expecting, which has the Telemon and stuff in it, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to pick that box up. Really hope I can, but it's going to be a lot of maybes. A lot of maybes to that, I think. But we'll have to see how we do. Hey, Avian, how are you doing? It's that time again. And Milkshake is not in the room. No, he's not in the room. He's not long had his meds, so he's probably fast asleep. He normally has his meds at 6 o'clock. So, yeah, very much one of those. But I will definitely IOU him the pets. How are you doing though, Avian? I hope you're well. What you're going through could be a next Taskmaster challenge. Write the shows to the host of idea. Right, that'd be so funny. Right, your challenge is to build this Warhammer figure with no instructions, or with the instructions, but you take a time penalty, sort of thing, and you'd be like, I don't know which ones is going to be more helpful. And then I would put one extra piece in the kit just to throw people. But yeah, Milkshake might join in the room afterwards, though, after he's woken up from his nap. I'll see if he wants to come in. Where are we at here? I need 2 111s. Oh, they're over here. As a late birthday present, or happy birthday, happy late birthday, I hope you had a good one. I picked myself up the Necromunda books. 3 Necromunda books. Ooh, nice. So is that all 3 for the Underhive? So the Core Rulebook, the Gangs of the Underhive, and Gangs of the Outlands. That is very cool. You know what? I'm quite happy to see more and more people playing Necromunda. I need to play more myself. I was just chatting with both Flanders and Super Weasel last night, actually, about Necromunda. We were like, whilst we were playing Magic the Gathering, let's talk about Necromunda. Instead, like where it's probably the game that most of us want to play more, or play some of, which is cool. How are you finding the reading through the rules so far? Me not playing much of the previous rule set, I feel like I'm kind of in an okay position where it's all going to be like a little bit play. If I play, I will end the universe. Well then, it's about time somebody did. Oh, but I haven't picked up any of the stuff yet. I was kind of on the fence about potentially picking up the core box, because I think it'd be fun to own the extra gangs, and it's just price wise, it's a really attractive price point, because it's like, ooh, like that's not too bad at all. Guess that's the shield. It's gonna blue tack these on for now while I figure out if I'm gonna glue them in. A little bit of blue tack. Just pulled the plastic of the books, flipped through it, was tickled with the Gene Stealers and Chaos Cultists in the second gang book. Yes! It's nice that the Chaos Cultists have got a reference in there now, because they weren't really referenced much previously. They were there, but there wasn't a lot of them mentioned. And Gene Stealer Cults, the most cost-efficient Warhammer 40,000 army. Actually, you might... yeah, because there's no... oops. Because you can run them in Necromunda, 40k, kill team. So they're a very cost-efficient army. I was wondering if Custodes would have overthrown them in the minute. I'm really struggling with this glue at the minute. It's like it's drying way too quick. Stuff just snapping off here. Done. You Tamiya extra thin cement. Supposed to be a good one. Leave that dry. So that's the sword and shield. Then it's the shoulder pads, which I'm on the fence about marbling the shoulder pads. I might just do the not marble. I might just do the shield marble and then the base. That might be enough. And then I can put these adornments on them. I think. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Rob just went through the rules. There were some good, some bad, and some ugly things. Like, and Uncle Atom said the rules were better than the last time. That's fair. That's interesting. Yeah, I've seen a very divided opinion about it. But mostly people have just said, like, I think people were nervous what streamlining would mean. Would streamlining mean taking out some of the good stuff? But I think it's been a happy medium. There's a few bits people are grumbly about, but they can kind of understand it, which feels right, pretty good. So I walked outside during lunch and picked up the books. Nice. Question. Trying to figure out where a sprue is from. All I have is the head of it. Any ideas how? Ooh. Have you got a picture of the sprue? If you want to whack a picture of it in the Discord, I love a good investigation and seeing if I can figure it out. Verity is heading to the shop. You got this, Verity. We wish you luck. If you're heading to the shop, that might mean that Milkshake will want to come in the room, because he'll be like, Mother is gone. I guess I best go and see Father. So let me just move this stuff around. It's a push fit and it looks like Space Marine. I'm thinking the Indomitors box. Ooh. 2023 is the date on it. Might be a Warhammer Heroes one, maybe from that time. Yeah, if you've got a picture, whack it in the Discord. I'd love to see if that helps. Let's put this back over here. Let's go see if Milkshake wants to come in the room. Hello, puppy. Oh, I don't know if he does. Milkshake? He's asleep? Okay. No, he doesn't want to come in the room. Okay, I have been rejected, chat. Milkshake was asleep. He did not want to come in the room. So, oh, hello. I spoke too soon. Hello. Oh. Very gentle picking you up because you've not long eaten. Hold on. 1 second. Shutting the door. Did him. Let's pop him down. Woo. Hello. Milkshake is here. Let's turn on his special camera just for him. Oh wait, he's still in a hex. I just realised he's still in a hexagon. Why is that so blurry? Milkshake, don't rub yourself against the Telemon Heavy Dreadnought. Of all the things to rub yourself against, you pick the Telemon. Easter boy! I need to get Milkshake's hexagon upgraded to the new shape. I'll have to do that after stream. Hello! Oh, so little. So little meows. Little mew 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 mew. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there he is, getting your pets. Promise we give you the pets. And and oh, I just realised the numbers you gave of the sprue were put onto the were flagged by the auto mod. I think they were like, what numbers are these? 2023 would be a Leviathan. Oh, yeah, that would be a Leviathan. Actually, what are you doing? Hello. Little man. He won't want to be in here for much longer. He doesn't like the smell of the glue. Chat window is blocking the mighty floof. Ah, we can get that sorted. I can shrink the window a wee bit. Well, no, I'll just move Milkshake. I can just move his thing. Where's he gone? Milkshake comes. There he is. Yeah, he's just under me now. Yeah. It was like the slot was perfectly made for it. That was totally by accident. I can't even take credit for that. There we go. Oh, you're a little bit shaky. Hello, what's wrong? You okay, little buddy? It's okay, that cultist didn't want to be alive anyway. Now that you just snapped him off his base. That's okay. It's his fault. He was in your scratchy area. Oh, it is a Terminator head. Ah, nice. Interesting. Terminator. Chat did it. Go, chat. You will get. Let's get some fanfare for chat. Did that come through? Yes, it did. There we go. Chat did it. Let's go. Yeah, is Milkshake leaning into the head scritches? He definitely is. He's been a very affectionate little boy lately. He's been, in the evenings, he's been wanting to sit directly on my chest and won't get off until I fuss him for, like, I think the longest we've gone at the minute is about 55 minutes of me just constantly rubbing his cheeks and his ears. And he was just purring away like a happy little kitty. Bless him. Yeah, we love him so much. Yeah. The downside is Milkshake always meows. So he's always like, meow, meow, meow. You being a talkative little bean? Yes, he is. This is him, like, he literally just walks around the house meowing. He's like looking at the camera going, yeah, I know. Look at me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll get your camera updated. Oh, as he was relaxed, I was trying to get his eye. Yeah, little talkative bean. Am I going to get meowed at? He's like, I've just had food, I'm very confused. Like, you normally don't have me in here after food. I normally lets food settle, and then he has the second half of food, and then he comes in the stream room. So, he's just vibing right now. Yeah, I feel like it's the right way to do this. I feel like it's very straight up. I kind of prefer it to be a little bit more angled. Oops, I need to pull that off. Kind of want it more like there. More like down by the side. Ah, everything's falling apart now. See if I can get this a little bit more. Yeah, see if I can get this a little bit more positioned. Well, I feel like this is one of the few times where I'm actually like, I don't know if the heat is struggling with the Tamiya extra thin, but I feel like it's almost getting to me now, the Tamiya being like, you keep breaking. I feel like I just need to grab some standard plastic glue. Then I remember I don't have any standard plastic glue. I've only got super glue laying around. Helps if I put that in the right slot. There we go. Hello. I can just see him at the corner of my eye looking at me like, hello, father. Give this missus. That's my boy. Arm breaks. No, my boy. Father, help. This is what all the Custodes have been saying for over 10,000 years. Father, help. Father. Father. Full on Matt Berry. Father! Darn it. Milkshake's like, hello. Alright. Let's take that off. This might be a little messy. Let's move that down here. That will give me the angle I'm after. And let's get those in there. I'm kind of wondering though, with all the is anyone pre-ordering the Orc stuff tomorrow, or have they already pre-ordered it today? Because some LGSs released the pre-orders a little earlier to make sure everyone can get stuff. Oh, you want an out? Are you wanting out already? It is a bit warm in here. You hopping down? Yeah, or are you staying there? You watch, I'll scoot back and then he'll immediately jump down. He's not sure. You want to go out? Do you want to go or you want to stay? Should you stay or should you go now? Milkshake. He's very unsure. Milkshake is very unsure which direction to go right now. Should I open the door for a little bit? Sometimes because it's been so hot recently, I've had the door to the stream room open. But because he's not, it's cooled down a bit, I've not had it open. So maybe open it and I'll see what he does. So we keep this open for a minute. Maybe he'll wander out. Okay. So I've opened the door this time. I'm going to see what he does. The milkshake clash. Should I stay or should I go now? That's exactly it. That's exactly what it is. Hey, buddy. Oh, I saw that cheeky little paw raise. He just wanted some fusses. I love him so much. Should we put you on the big camera? Whoops. You'll click back in a second. There you go. I accidentally unplugged it as I moved the camera. Oh, and now you're going to go. I put him on the big camera and now he leaves. Bye, buddy. Bye. Oops. Sorry for the boops. Moving the cable has slightly disconnected the camera. Yeah. Okay, he has appreciated being able to leave. So we'll turn off his camera for now and see if he comes back in a bit. Little guy. Bless him. Okay, right. I think I've got these positioned where I want them to be now. Basically, what I should have done is trusted my instincts and done a lot more dry fitting before I started gluing stuff, rather than having to snap things off. But if I listened to my instincts a lot more, then you guys wouldn't have entertainment, right? It'd just be me going, hey look, everything went perfectly well. What's going on here? This is unusual. And you get these nice big old hefty decorative shoulder pads. Things go on there. They slot on there, and then this one goes on here. Question is, before I put the shoulder pads on, should I marble them or should I keep them a solid colour? I'm thinking for these I might keep them a solid colour, but then marble the shield, because I'm going to put a bit of marble on the big tanks, and then when I get to the Telemon, this is the Forge World one from my old paint scheme, I will marble these big shoulder pads to make that stand out a bit more. I think I'll keep these a solid colour. What would a hobby session be without hang on, if, what if, and or, but that is true. We gotta think these through. You know, there are these rare mystical unicorn people who can go, aha, I know exactly what to do here, and they do it first time. I don't know how they do this, or what spells they've made to be able to do that. But yeah, that is not what you'll find here. You'll find a lot of me going, oh, making a lot of random noises and very much stimming until I figure out what to do. Do 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 do. Whoop boop boo. Do do do. Okay, that's on there. So shoulder pads are on, and then he just needs to go on his base. But his base is very much. Oh yeah, I was going to glue these onto the shoulder pads first. These are really nice ornaments. And just one. Is two. I mean, it's Custodes, right? They should be a little ostentatious, a little bit. Woo. Hey, newbie! How are you doing, my friend? How are we? I hope you are doing well, buddy. How are things? And And do. It's gonna give me a bit of a dust off. I've just got a bit of milkshake fluff stuck right there in the corner. Milk guaranteed to be a small part of milkshake in every model. And I'm good. I hope you're feeling better. Yes, I very much am. I'm glad to hear you're good. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, feeling better now. I unfortunately had one of my migraine attacks over the weekend, so kind of late into Sunday, which meant I took Monday, Tuesday off work, thinking I'd be fine for Wednesday. I kind of went back into work on Wednesday, and it just absolutely took me out, until like floored me. Basically, I was trying to do a bit too much too quickly after being ill, so I was like, So I was like, yeah, it was a rough time, but back up and about, which is nice to be. What have you been getting yourself up to? We have just finished building this Custodes dreadnought, which I'm very happy with. That's that dreadnought built. Once all the glue dries, we'll try fit the shield and sword. I think because I want to do a bit of work on those separately. I'm a bit annoyed I've destroyed that hinge, but what's wrong with a bit of battle damage, eh? And then the base is over here for it. And then I can get the base ready to be sanded down, ready for marbling. Ta-da! Which actually I might do. Yeah, I might start sanding that down right now. Reminds me of a D&D short I heard the other day of a wizard who gets knocked out from casting simple spells. It amazes me how so easily you can open a portal to the realm of fire to cast your fireballs. Fire realm, we are igniting gases in the air to make explosions. What have you all been doing all along? I like that. It's like, wait a second. Whoa. It's like 1 second right now. I like that. Oh. I'm hoping to get a little done on painting done on Sunday, as the temps have certainly dropped. Yes, yeah, we even had a good 40 minutes of solid rain today, which was really very much appreciated. Already the kind of field next to the my flat is very much like, it's starting to get a little bit of colour back to it, which is like, yay! It looks a little bit green, which is good. It's a good sign. Right, just got to do some sanding. Where is my really high grit one? I've only got this grit. Need to pick myself up some more of this. Hopefully this isn't going to be too loud. If it is, tell me and I'll do it after stream. Hopefully it's okay. But if it's too loud. Pudding! Epic! And let me move that alert box. Epic! How are you doing, my friend? I hope you are doing good. Thank you so much for the sub, Rooney. And for 66 months. Execute order 66. Execute them. Execute it now. How are we? How are you doing? Thank you so much for the sub, my friend. How the devil are you, buddy? How are you? How are things? What have you been getting up to? Tell me everything. Tell me everything. Fire everything! Tell me everything! And I just thought then I'll move that bar a little bit. The alert box. If I can find where my alert box is. Where is my alert box? I have a sound alert for it. But I don't know where to move the alert box to. Well, that's for me to do after stream. I'm doing good, thanks. Just a fine visit today as I'm streaming shortly. No worries, my friend. Oh, well, I hope all goes well for you. And I hope you're still enjoying your summer holidays. Not long now, not long left, but enough left that you don't have to worry about it. You've got a couple of weeks. I don't think many people I know of are going back. Like teacher friends I have who are going back to, like on the 1st, which is like the day after the bank holiday. So back in for training 2 weeks today. Oh, that's not too bad then. I'm glad you get a little bit of a breather, which is good. Slightly shaking the desk. I can see my camera wobbling. Do it under the desk. It won't be too loud, hopefully. Then. This might look a little bit untoward. do. Okay, so that's that first bit done. And then I just need a much finer grit for the next bit. Oh, I did have a bit of 240 grit. That would have taken off the most of that with a lot less effort. Oh well. What's that? That is a 2500 grit. I just need the... That's the 3000. It is the 2500 I need first. It didn't until you made those eyes. Well, it's my normal eyes. If I'm standing, right? Is that derpy face of I love it. Like you. Do 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 do. But I'm here. But while I'm here, we've had some Middle-earth strategy battle game news this week. Is this the battle hosts on Monday's stream, Monday's announcement, or has there been more? I know officially I saw about the battle hosts, which looked really, really good. I think we covered them on our Tuesday Warhammer Roundup this week, because I normally do it on a Monday, but I was ill. So, also shout out to the amazing Verity though for jumping in and doing my pack a day for me on Monday. Big shout out to Verity there. Verity was like, you shall not lose your big streak of opening a pack of Magic the Gathering every day of this year. She's like, I will do it. And she had a great time. She did a great video, so I'm very grateful for her. I mean, I'm always grateful for her, but I was like, yeah. I was like, that's my wife. Supporting my stupid things. Yes, the battle hosts look really cool, don't they? I'm glad they've upgraded the Rohan one with the new models. I have to admit, the Doggle one is slightly, and the Mirkwood ones are slightly tempting me, but I've not played with the one I already have, so I'm just like, I don't need to pick up a new one right now. For anyone who's unsure of what we're talking about, these are the new battle hosts that were brought out that were announced on Monday by G-Dubs. So if you haven't seen them, here they are. And make sure it's up on this one as well. These are the new battle hosts that we have. So there's 3 in total. So you got a new Rohan battle host, which gives you 24 warriors of Rohan, 6 riders of Rohan, and Theoden, King Theoden himself, both on foot and mounted. You have the Mirkwood battle host, which this is the one that I'm finding quite tempting. I wanted a new elf kind of battle host. I was kind of hoping for Gladrihim, but you know what? I'll take Mirkwood. I'll take Mirkwood pretty comfortably on this one. This is not bad at all. So I'm like, okay. And then we have the Mirkwood one, and then we've got the Doggle, and as the only battle host I've currently built is an evil one. I'm like, ooh. I can see myself buying the only one I can see myself buying anytime soon is the Rohan one. And that's only if it's cheaper than buying the warriors and riders separate. I mean, these were what, 55 previously? Because the pricing point for Middle-earth was always a little bit lower. So these were, 55 previously. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll still stay around that price point, which would be really good. What I will say about the Mirkwood one is you don't really want that many Rangers or Palace Guard if you're running the standard Mirkwood army. You want too much in there. So what have we got? We've got Legolas, Toriel, and where are we at? The 20 heavily armored Palace Guards and 20 Mirkwood Rangers. That is a lot of on foot. Although 42 models, that's a pretty beefy box. And you know, I just love the models in it though. I just think they look great. Oh no, the core troops are in Finecast? Oh no. Oh, what, the Palace Guards and the Rangers? They're still Finecast resin? No. Wait, what? The Rangers aren't great unless you're running the Rangers army and you take all bows. Nothing but bows. All bows. I mean, isn't that what archers are for anyway? The Palace Guards are elites, yeah, and you don't want many of those. They're such cool looking models, though. They're so cool. And what I particularly liked about this article as well was the fact that they said down the bottom here, All of their rules will be available as free downloads. There'll be an updated quick start rules guide. These will be make for an ideal way for you and your friends to dip their toes into Middle Earth. So I'm like, ooh, it was very much a surprise. I didn't see this coming when they announced it. I was like, ooh. So that's very nice that they've done it though. I'm a fan. I'm very much a fan. But the updated Rohan one is crazy good. Crazy good that the Rohan one got updated. Really, really, really nice. Because it was just all the old sculpts in there, wasn't it? The other ones are still available, aren't they? I didn't actually check. Are the other ones still available? I would imagine so. Shop. Middle Earth. Start here. Oh, only the Isengard battle host, and that's the only one out, and that's out of stock. Oh, so they literally they've taken the Mordor one out. So what was it? Mordor, Isengard, Minas Tirith, and Rohan. I'm still waiting on the Lothlorien battle host. Did you do any of the made to orders that dropped? Was it this week? They went up pre-order Saturday, not this week. Yeah, Saturday. There was some Lothlorien on there. Was that the made to order? Was that where have I missed it? All new and exclusive. Middle Earth. Oh, was there not? I thought there were some. Wait, I could have sworn we had some made to orders. Oh, new made to order. There it is. Oh, apparently the made to order section's blank. Wait, have I missed the date? Oh, made to order is tomorrow. Oh, thank you. I'm all out of sorts because I wasn't streaming on Sunday, so my brain's confused. So yeah, there was some Lothlorien stuff in there, I think. Metal dwarves and elves, yeah. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be good time. It's like, right, that's now nice and sanded. I think that's about as smooth as I'm going to get it. I'm going to cover that with a layer of black paint, and then we can start getting that marbled up, which is going to be cool. And oh no, oh that's annoying. Oh, what of my? That's really bizarre. Oh no, one of my really nice brushes for cell shading hasn't got a cover on it for some reason. I only have like 4 brushes that I keep covers on. That one was missing a cover, which means it's been milkshakers at some point rubbed against it. Oh no. It'll be fine. I can sort it out. It'll be fine. The alternative sculpts for Galadriel, Gladhelmgard, and Pajama Elves. I like the Pajama Elves. And the alternative sculpt for some Khazad-dûm stuff. Dum 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 dum. There's going to be some nice things. That Galadriel, though, is the one I've got. She is lovely. I'm very tempted to pick up another one because the Gandalf that they re-released that in metal was like a tenner. So I was like, yeah, that's worth me picking up in metal. I think it was like £8 actually. So if she's pretty cheap again, I think I might pick up another one and kind of do a, oh, I painted this a while ago. Let's have another crack at painting it a different style. That was weird. My browser tab decided to mute you. Okay, that was me. It's just there like, yeah. I'm glad we're back, though. I'm glad we're back. Do. Let's go. And yes, just be like that. Just be like right, let's gonna put some black paint on this. And I was looking around and go, where's all my paints? And I realised I did the good thing and I actually put them all away. That's why I cannot find all my paints. Because I did the good thing and I put them all away like I was supposed to, and it very much confused me. So luckily I have a spare black. So they're all behind me, and I'm just like, oh. And put that on there. And they're unarmored, so they're pajama elves. I mean, that makes sense. They're the unarmored pajama elves. That makes a lot of sense. Let's put a layer of black paint on here. Painting black on black. Hey Bricks, welcome on in. How are you doing? Good to see you again. How are you? But yeah, but I hope everyone's doing good otherwise though today. I have to admit, I'm kind of pumped to see what comes up for pre-order this weekend, because I'm kind of thinking it might be Custodes. But then there's a little part of me thinking, will it be the individual releases for Necromunda? Because there's been now that the books are out, will they do like the Goliath and the Escher like expanded books? So I'm not quite 100% sure which way around they're going to do it. But I think it might be the Custodes box, which I kind of want, but also don't want. I kind of need that to, because next weekend is payday, so it kind of falls at a reasonable time, and there is the one box that, if it goes up on pre-order at the minute, I definitely want to pick up. So, but yes. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm doing very well, thank you, Bricks. I'm doing very well. We're just chilling and vibing. I've been unfortunately a bit ill, so we haven't streamed in over a week. It's been nice to be back up on the streaming and painting horse, so to speak. So I'm just painting a little bit of black on this base at the moment, just to put a smooth layer to fill in some gaps after we've just tried to smooth this out, because we need this as smooth as possible before we turn it into a marbled base for our Custodes. So I need to sit and leave that to dry. Yeah, I have indeed had a good day, thank you for asking. It's been okay. I was at work today, so it's only a half day for me on a Friday, which was very nice. Yeah, so it was good. Still riding the high from last night, seeing my friends and playing some Magic the Gathering Commander, which was really fun. So I was very grateful to be playing some of that. So I'm like, yes. So enjoyed that quite a bit. I hadn't been to a Commander night in a couple of months, so it was quite nice to go and play. It was very, very, very nice. So I'm like, yeah. So I was very much enjoying that. Right, that can settle there. And then when I got home from work today, I did one of my favourite things, which is to prep dinner for later. And so on my way home, I stopped off at the local butcher's, because they normally on a Friday, around the time I finish work, is when they start reducing all of their food, because they're kind of getting rid of the stock just before the big Saturday rush. So I can normally grab like 1.5 kilos of chicken wings for like £1. Or like a nice piece of meat or something that we can do something with over the weekend. And I went in and they had no chicken wings this week, but they did have a big rack of pork ribs. So I got about a nice big rack of pork ribs reduced to like £2. So I've got those. I got them home, put them on a tray, put them in a nice dry rub. So they've just been sitting marinating in that, which is going to be nice, and then ready. So when I go on my break, I'll be popping them in the oven, nice low and slow to cook for like an hour, 2 hours. It's only a small rack for like it's a big rack for 2 people, but didn't need much bigger. So I'm like, yeah. So I've had a good day. It has been a good day actually. It's been nice. It's good to focus on like the happy positives. It's been a good day. And so, but yeah, I hope yours has been good. Oh. And then, right. So that's that done on here. We've built a dreadnought. We built our first plastic Custodes Dread, and I have to admit, it looks fantastic. I want to know size-wise, because the Contemptor Dreadnought, how does it stack up next to the Contemptor Dreadnought from Heresy? Because it's a similar sort of chassis. It's about the same. To be fair, it is not far off for a Custodes Dread. But it's still a Contemptor Dreadnought chassis, isn't it? It's just in Auramite instead of Ceramite. So, yeah, that works for me. That's fine. So let's pop that back over your car. So I'm excited to get this painted up. When I go for my break, I'm going to put my put the ribs in the oven, and then I'll probably prime this up so we can get some of the brown and stuff painted on this ready to go. I was going to work on the Shield Captain, but I still need to finish off doing a lot of work on this base. And I realised I ran out of baby wipes that are dried out for me to be able to do the effect on here. So I'm like, no! So I need to finish off to do the other bits of the final layer of white on the marbling. So I figured, well, if because I'm going to need to do this base at the same time and the shield, I might as well wait till I've got them done at the same time. When I'm down at Warhammer World, I do want to get some of the lesser stuff, some of the Swan Knights, but may look for the Wozes and Arnold Warriors. Ooh, the Arnold Warriors are nice. The Swan Knight. That one's not ringing a bell. What's the Swan Knight? I'm so intrigued now. Which one's the Swan Knight? That one is not ringing a bell for me, so I'm very intrigued. I'm like, which one was that one? And, right. So, this is where we got to with the shield. So I do need to put my glove on if I'm going to paint this. Ugh. Yeah, I feel like the Swan Knight's not clicking for me. You know, I'm normally pretty good at going, someone mentions the name of a mini, and I'll go, aha! That's what it is, but I completely forgot. Yeah, it was not clicking for me. I do like whenever I go to Warhammer World, I always have a look at like the Warhammer World exclusive miniatures. That's always very satisfying to see what they've got. I still think one of my favourite ones, which I don't know if they do it anymore, was the Errant Questor. Was this guy, who I turned into a Custodes Blade Champion. Who I am slightly tempted to go over and redo the cloak. It was a long time ago I painted this though. So this was kind of a nice one. This was the Stormcast Eternal, and all I did was swap the helmet, one shoulder pad, put these two bits on the side from the Custodes kit, and then a blade at the back. Actually, no, that blade was there already. I didn't do anything with the blade. So yeah, the nice simple swap, but it fits in really well with the other Custodes, which I was really grateful for. I don't have a problem with the existing Blade Champion. I just had that. I went, oh, that's going to be really cool, because I always like mine to look a little bit special. You know, something a little bit different, a little bit something. Swan Knights, the Knights of Dollar. Ah, that makes sense with the feathers. For some reason, my brain didn't click on what that was. I was like, wait a minute, that makes sense. That makes sense. My brain like, what? That is fair. But yeah, I was like, ooh. Oh, just as a PSA, public service announcement for people as well, there has been a massive uptick on, so for Twitch especially, there's been a big uptick on whisper scams propping up. So just as a heads up, there's quite a lot of things that are coming up now where people are what's the word for it? Words are hard. Where basically they're whispering and they're basically offering, I think it's they're offering various things. You know, the normal stuff that comes through. You get a DM from somebody on Twitch, you get a whisper, things like that. Just keep an eye out. Just be safe. Be, you know, online savvy. Please just be aware of that. You know, all those gubbins and whatnots. So yeah, just be careful with those sort of things. We don't want anybody getting you know, caught with anything. You know, and also big shout out to the Discord mods. They have been battling for the last couple of weeks of just the influx of people. Even though we have quite a high verification level on our Discord, for some reason the occasion one slipped through. So they've been doing a bang up job of just deleting posts and things that are cropping up and more things. There's just, I don't know what it is at the minute, even down to like phone calls. I've been getting a lot more phone calls of people being like, hi, I need your information for your energy provider or stuff like that. I don't know what's going on at the moment. There's just a lot of stuff happening, so just bear that in mind. As always, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and if it's a stranger DMing you, you know, just you know, think first, don't ever send any details. You know, basic internet 101, but just all be careful, please be. I don't want anybody, anyone getting upset or frustrated. So, and yeah, I don't want to get caught out with stuff. I suppose when I said swan, you might have thought what's of evil as swans can be vicious. I don't know what my brain had really thought of. I don't know what it was, but I just hadn't clicked to Yeah, I don't know what it was. My brain just hadn't clicked with the Knights of Dol Amroth. They would be very cool. I've seen somebody convert some of those into Empire Blood Bowl team, and I was, as much as they were slightly smaller, they looked really cool. Really, really, really cool. I was like, oh, that's actually pretty sweet. So I was like, okay. There. My mouth is up there. My mouth is up there. It sounds like a name of a list being sold on the dark web. As you say, be vigilant on who engages with you. That's it. It's always the one, yeah. There's definitely something. I mean, like, I've had a ruckload of phone calls today, and it's always the automated, this is indeed human resources calling to get information about your payment. Please give us your bank details. And you're like, the problem is it's very easy to sit here and go, who falls for this? It just takes somebody to fall for it once. And that's always the biggest part of it. It's like somebody, you just catch them on a day where they're not paying attention, or somebody's like, oh, no, I have been dealing with something with Indeed, or something like that. You know, it only takes one, doesn't it? And the emblem of the Dol Amroth is a swan, hence the Swan Knights. Honestly, my brain did not put two and two together on that one. I don't know why. I was like, this is not kicking in. I'm like, I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know what it was. That just didn't click for me in any way. I was like, I don't know why. But there we go. Oh. But yes, where's my brain? My brain is just not clicking in. What's my brain doing? What's it doing? Right, I'll tell you what, where my brain is at the moment is, I'm going to go and quickly prime this, just before we're going to get the big influx of rain. I'm going to prime this. When we get back, we're going to paint it up. We're going to paint it up and put all the brown on it that we need to do. And then to again start dry brushing on the gold. And at the same time, I can double check if I've got any dried out baby wipes so I can start doing the marble. So we're gonna take a short pause, and then when we get back, we'll dive on in and get more work done on this. So give us a few minutes. We're gonna BRB, and we will see you in a mo. Grab yourself a snacky, a drinky, you know all the good stuff. We'll see you in a second. Ooh, I hit it up there. we be back. That was a nice speedy get through of what I needed to get through there. How are we all doing? So the model is now primed and firing and ready to go. Managed to get the ribs into the oven, so that's pretty good. So quite happy for those. They're going to be on a nice slow cook for about an hour. Pretty good. Like a pretty good time. But yeah, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing good. How are we? I was a little sad on Sunday. I finally streamed for the first time in 2 years. I was going to raid you and I hadn't checked the stream schedule. I didn't realise you weren't streaming until around 2:30. No! You know what though? I did see you playing Power Washing Sim, which was really nice to see. So I did leave you a lurky lurk because I saw you go live just as I was leaving the house because I was going to see family from the wedding. So I was like, yeah, because we had a big wedding on Saturday and a lot of my family live abroad. So it was really nice that actually it was a family member was getting married within half an hour of myself. So it was I didn't have to travel too far, and then all my family were staying. So they got married on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday we had a big. But they were all staying on a campsite in various motorhomes and things. So it was really nice to be able to go and just have a big barbecue with them all, which was really really lovely. But yeah, it was weird not streaming on Sunday. I don't, where possible, I don't like cancelling any streams, but Sundays are the ones that I hold very sacred. We first ever streamed on a Sunday, and I've always been very good at kind of stick to it, almost to the point where I've turned down doing lots of things, because nope, Sunday's my stream day. And that's very much grafted in now after 6 years with all my friends and family. But I was everyone's travelled over from different countries. They're all just down, they're all within about 45-minute walk from my house. I definitely should go spend time with them. It turned out, though, to bite me in the butt a little bit because I ended up eating food that I shouldn't have been eating, which gave me one of my migraines. But yes. But how was it, though? Was it nice being back in the saddle? I hope it was nice and good for it. And let's do a... And where are we? Whoops, where's my thing gone? Dude. There we go. And if you're not doing so, go drop Newbie a follow. Please go and do so. They're awesome. Go drop them a follow. They're a massive part of our community. So let's go drop them a follow and say hello to their community, please. Go and drop that follow and spread some love. What's on the ribs? Hey, Scrot. How you doing, buddy? So I have made a homemade dry rub. So I have got in the dry rub paprika, smoked paprika, brown sugar, chicken bouillon, so chicken powder, which is basically just dehydrated chicken fat mixed with some MSG, which is a good time. Salt, white pepper. I'll put some, what else I put in there? Some cumin, some dried oregano, dried sage, because I always think it adds a bit of a nice taste. What else did I put in there? There's about 4 or 5 other spices that I can't remember what they were. I was just grabbing stuff, sniffing, going, yeah, that works, trying as I go, tasting, and I was like, ooh, yeah, got a really nice rub on it. Then I felt like the rub needed a bit more heat, but I'd already added quite a bit of chili to it. So I was like, rather than add more chili heat, I patted dry the rack of ribs, and I rubbed them and gave them a coat of Dijon mustard. And then I've applied the dry rub over that, and they've been sat for about, until they've just gone in the oven. The pork ribs were sat for... I finished that up about 3:30. So they've been sat for about 4 hours. So I'm like, it's a good amount of time. I'd like to have left them overnight, but about 4 hours to really get that marinade in and absorbing. They're just on a really slow cook now, which has been nice. I've been really enjoying it. I was saying before, whenever I walk home at the moment on a Friday, because I do a half day, I'm very lucky that my local butcher's just around the corner has been... they tend to put... They shut at 4, so by the time I walk past is about 2:45. If I get out on time, it's normally more like 3:15. So they're just putting all the yellow stickers on everything to try and get out the door. So I can normally pick up things like ribs, chicken wings, various things like that. I can normally pick them up for the rack of ribs is 1.5 kilos of pork ribs for £2. The last couple of weeks I've picked up 1.5 kilos of chicken wings for £1. So it's been like a real bar, because then it's just they can go they can go into a marinade, then they can just cook. And then we basically sit down after stream and we just put out like a tray of almost like picky bits. And it's a really nice dinner because it's very low effort, which is really cool. I've been really, actually, you know, I've genuinely been really loving getting back into my cooking lately. I've been trying to make a real conscious effort to lower my screen time. And when I say screen time, I mean time on my phone. I realised the other week I got into quite a bad habit of doom scrolling kind of aimlessly. Like, I hadn't really been posting. I was making the excuse that I was going on there ready to kind of like post content, and then it would be like 2 hours later and I hadn't posted anything. I just doom scrolled. So I've kind of made an effort now to go, if instead of doom scrolling, I'm either going to go in the kitchen and I'm going to cook, or I'm going to like turn on one of the games consoles and do that for the like half an hour that I've got free. Rather than kind of randomly doom scrolling. So yeah, I was kind of like focusing on that. But no, yeah, otherwise, no, it's good. Jamie Oliver of Twitch. Whoa, I haven't got stocks in olive oil. Whoa. And don't call me that. People will start thinking I got rid of turkey twizzlers. Are you mad? I love a turkey twizzler. But yeah. So Wednesday would become a cooking show. Wok Wednesday. You know what? I always thought if I was ever gonna. So my first ever Instagram account I made was a food channel. So I did lots of food, and then that just became my kind of like personal Instagram sort of side of it. And then I really wanted. And then it was like during COVID, I was getting really back into making my doing miniatures and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll stream, and you guys know the origins of our streams. But yeah, food. I would love to. We've done 2 cooking streams already. We've done 2. We did 3. No, yeah, we've done 3 cooking streams. We did last year. 2 with just myself, and 1 we did on Christmas Eve last year, which was us doing all of our Christmas Eve prep, and it was just me and Verity chatting with you lot on Christmas Eve, which was really lovely, and I'm hoping we can do that again this year. I would love to do more cooking content. I think the downside is sometimes with Twitch is diversifying your content's always a little bit of a, people, it's like when I do a gaming stream, I get very different people coming into a gaming stream than we do for our miniature painting streams and things like that. And it's diversifying like that is a little bit of an odd one, which will always be primarily miniatures. I have no plans to change that at all, but I would like to throw in a random Wednesday doing something. I think the last time we streamed and we did a wildcard Wednesday and I was cooking, we ended up going really late and I made shokupan, which is the Japanese milk bread, which was really fun. That was really fun to do. We made 2 loaves of it and it was great. So that was the last cooking stream to do. Yeah, Wok Wednesday, that would be so much fun. Maybe I'll do a poll and be like, we'll do give me something. I love cooking. I don't think you guys. I adore it so much. And I would love to do more. Like I find it very chilled out, therapeutic. Like the other week, I went out to buy a loaf of bread because our loaf of bread had like gone off, and I'd only bought it like 3 days before, and I got really annoyed. And then when I was looking at all the bread on the shelf, they all had really short dates, or they were just full of preservatives. So I came home and I just went, right, I'm just going to bake a loaf of bread myself. I was like, I'm just going to do it myself because at least I know what's in it then. I do love my cooking. Well, what about you? Are you anybody in the chat a particular foodie? In terms of cooking and eating, the 2 types of foodies. I am both, which is dangerous because it means I like the tasty things and then I want to figure out how to make the tasty things, which is it is dangerous. But yeah. Hey, No Sad Nomad, how are we doing? I hope you're doing well. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing good. Yeah, I always thought if I ever won the lottery, one of the signs would be that I would open up a big community LGS where I would either be on the till greeting and chatting with people, or I'd be in the kitchen cooking people food. That would be it. I'd do both. That would be the lovely thing to do. That would be so much fun to do. Right. Let's get this dreadnought covered in dark brown. Let's go with, what brown was I using? It was a really dark brown. Scabbard brown, that's what I was using. Working on some termies. Ooh, which termies are you working on? I will eat tasty things, but will not make tasty things. Ah. That's fair. Is that just no interest in cooking, or just not your kind of area? I adore, like, I'm very much one of those, when I have the time, it is not as often as I would like to do it. I am very much like, I make all my own pasta. I will make my own bread. I am happy to make my own stock, so I'll buy like a whole chicken. If I just eat some chicken thighs, I normally tend to buy like a whole chicken, or like a punnet of thighs with the bones in, and then I'll take the bones out and I'll make sure I cook those down into a stock with all like my leftover bits of like veggies that I sort of like, you know, keep from all my prep and things like that. So yeah. Ooh, I've just had an interesting pop-up from Twitch saying that the stream is buffering. Double check your connection. Anyone's noticed any buffering issues or anything today? A speed test is coming up okay. But it's just interesting that it just flared up, so I just thought I'd double check. Just happened to look at the screen at the right moment. We should be pretty good. I mean, our speed here uploads at like, we're like 900 up and down. Let me check. Speed test. Run speed test. Download speed. 793. Upload speed. Ooh, a little bit lower actually. Ooh, the upload is struggling a little. I mean, it's still 400 meg, but it's lower than it should be. It should be a simultaneous line, so I don't know why that's not flagging up. All fine my end. Maybe just Milkshake. Milkshake can come in the room. The door is open for him. He did join us a little bit earlier on, bless his heart. But he was like, I think it's very warm still in here. He got lots of fusses on stream, though, which was very nice to see. I don't think that's the right brown. I think scabbard brown's too light. I think I need the darker brown. That looks much darker than I thought it was. I need the next brown up or down. Which was... Is it Cuirass leather, actually, I think I was using? It's got a reddish hue to it. I think I was using Cuirass leather. So, I was like, ooh. And slow cooker's a cheat code, it's not gonna lie. I made Cajun chicken Alfredo that almost caused my German colleague to evaporate. I love it. I do love a slow cooker. Slow cooker, an air fryer, anything that I can achieve like great texture or flavor with less effort is always a good thing. Like the fridge is just absolutely filled with like various flavor bombs and things like that, like, you know, just to make simple dishes and just dial them up a bit, which is always really nice. And the best part is Verity's a hell of a cook as well. Verity's she'll never admit it, but she is a phenomenal baker and chef. She can cook circles around me as much as she won't ever admit it. Yeah, it's fantastic that we're both foodies, because then we both know we're going to eat well, which is always an upside. The downside of both being foodies is we both eat a lot of food. So it means like whenever we go like food shopping, we're always like, yeah, we probably bought too much food again. It's always the downside. So I just realised my the nib of this paint pot's got stuck again, annoyingly. I do want to get back into cooking. I've never done my own bread or pasta. Honestly, it's so much fun. In terms of like, it takes time, because the longest part of pasta and bread making is the waiting in between. So like pasta, if you make a good fresh pasta, it's got to rest for like 30 minutes to an hour, sort of thing. It's got to rest, and the bread, just leaving the bread itself is just like leaving it in between the proofs. But I personally find it really therapeutic. Just the kind of that, like, you know. They're both very what's the word for it? They're both very physically intensive, so sometimes you can work out, especially when kneading a dough for bread, and that you can kind of get a little, working out the gluten, you can get a little bit of rage out, which is always good. I did try cooking in my younger years, then discovered Huel, and could make me very full and fast, very little effort. I used to work with someone who used to swear by Huel, but I've never tried it myself. They were always trying to get me hooked on it, and sometimes it's the sort of thing I have slightly looked into before, because I was like, maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing, because sometimes our schedule is so busy. Like, I don't finish work till 5:30. By the time I get home, you're talking maybe 6:15, and then when we stream at 8 o'clock, you got to think Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Between me and Verity, we stream all 3 nights at 8 o'clock. So it's very much get in, cook food, you know, very quick catch up of our day, dive in, and it's normally like kind of a quick meal. So I have debated about looking at Huel before, but I've never taken the dive. I was going to grab a scrap of kitchen roll. I thought I had a whole tube of kitchen roll in here, but I can't find one. Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, the timer's on the oven, and then it'll probably need another 30 on top of it, uncovered, depending how cooked the ribs are. What? Sorry, Verity had just gone back from the shop, so I was just updating her on rib logistics, because Verity wants to make some sides. I don't know what sides we're having, but I'm excited. Are you non-metallic matter NMMing the Custodes? No, not NMMing. We are lazily TMMing with the Vallejo paints and dry brushing. So we're going to achieve this effect. So we're going to achieve this effect on the vehicle, or this is what it looks like on a troop. And this is basically primed black, as you can see from the Dreadnought. Then painted brown. Then dry brushed the Vallejo True Metallic Metal Ancient Gold, or Aged Gold, whatever it's called. Aged metal. So dry brushed that, washed with the same shade, and then dry brushed with the lighter colour. Done. Maybe picking out a few details where it's not quite hit as well as I would. So it's a super simple way of doing this, the speedy Custodes. Because my whole goal with this was to try and get the box finished fast. In true fashion, I've got immediately distracted and working on 3 different projects at once. But we're making progress. I'm just cleaning out the nozzle of this paint because it has got very sticky to the point where it keeps getting stuck. I got to make the sides, so I need to know logistics. That is very true. I hope your shop trip was okay. Cooking for one on my end, so I'll be defrosting some mince tomorrow and probably make some bolognese. Nice. I cook for one when it comes to my lunch because I tend to like batch cook a meal for the week. So like for example, next week I already know for lunch I want to make a really high nutrient sort of food, but for very minimal cost. So I'm going to take I went into M&S the other day, and they don't do... Sounds a bit weird. They're reducing the number of tinned products they sell by replacing them with glass jars, which was very weird. There's an M&S food in my local town, so it's like that's the supermarket I can pop into on my lunch. And so when I popped in, I was like, so I grabbed a thing of it's like a same as a tin of green lentils, but they're already soaked in water. So I've got some of those. I've got some frozen spinach, and I've got some carrots, some onions or shallots, and then a ruckload of spices. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big, like, kind of almost spinach sarg with lentils, and then I'll batch cook that. At the last minute, add in some cream or some yogurt, depending on what's in the fridge, and then that'll be like a nice creamy kind of. It's got loads of spinach in it for iron. It's got loads of, because the green lentils are quite high in protein, which is nice. And then obviously carrots and veggies and stuff. That'll do me then for the week. That I can just portion it up and just take a portion of that to work. No rice or anything with it. It's just really nice on its own. So, but that tin of lentils is like, or the jar of lentils is like 55p. You frozen spinach, if you're happy with frozen spinach, is like £1.20 for a massive bag of it. And then everything else is just kind of store cupboard or fridge essentials. So it's like a really cheap lunch to stop me from buying, because I got into a really bad habit of constantly going out and buying something for lunch. And then you don't kind of realise sometimes that it builds up quite a bit. It builds up fast. So it's like, whoa. So like, yeah, so I'll cook for one in that sort of sense, because I'll make like a batch of what I'm going to have for my lunch. Because Verity works from home, she likes to cook her own lunch. So yeah, which is always really nice. Catching up with chat, where are we at? No, so no matter, working on some assault terminators, trying some different techniques. I painted the head separately, primed black, but dabbed on with white and dry brushed titanium white. I think they panned out well. Nice. Giving a nice weathered look without looking super goopy. Oh, I like it. I like that. Pixar, it didn't happen. Pics in the Discord. Remember, of course, Sunday showcase this week, so if you've got some stuff that you want to show off, whack it on in the showcase. It'd be lovely to see what you've all been getting up to. Basically, I just like gawking at all your minis. And we didn't do it last week, so I've got some gawking catching up to do. Right, hopefully though, that has cleaned that out. Put these in the bin. Right, so now, start painting on what I need for here. Where's the right brush? Probably the right one. It's just kind of covering it. Doesn't need to be a particularly large brush, but I do need a little bit of control. So just a size 0 will do us. And this is the prime on this is Raven's Black from Colourforge. Quite often people ask what primer I've used. That's what I've used. So it's got a really nice matte effect to it. So all I'm going to do is anywhere which is going to be gold, which is most of the Custodes, I'm just going to paint this brown. Could dry brush it on, but I'm just going to whack it on. To be fair, actually, it probably would be better to dry brush it on. Yeah, actually, that's going to save me so much time just to dry brush it on. Why am I not dry brushing on? Yeah, Nomatine Metals is in plural. Damn, I thought I was trying hard and hurting myself. Don't do it. Don't hurt yourself. No. Oh, yeah, I feel like I've non-metallic metals is something I've kind of avoided quite a bit, only because it's scary, but I feel like the time I probably will dive in and maybe try it will be on like a single character model. I think is probably what I'll try and do at some point. I've got the non-metallic metal kit from Pro Acryl, the Flame on Miniatures one, which their recommended like way of doing non-metallic. So I feel like I want to follow that guide at some point, but I don't think I could do a whole army in it, especially Custodes. I think people who do that, I tip my hat to you. You have more patience and more skill than I do. Going back to the old question, what do you want for a Space Marine chapter? The Chef Marine. You know what? I feel that would be a good one. I like the idea of doing like just a squad of Marines who just turn up and just keep everyone like, don't worry, they're there for morale boosting. I feel like they would turn up, like terrify everybody, but then they're there just like going, you don't need that nutrient block, guardsman. Here, have yourself some fried up Tyrannid. I feel that could be a really fun squad actually to do. No, you've given me ideas now. Taking various like Xenos factions and cooking them up. And having them like stood in like frying pans and various bits. That could be really fun. Maybe we kickstart it with like a Palooza theme, where we'll do food as the theme or something. Or like professions. They like professions that shouldn't exist in the universe, or they'll probably do, but you put unusual characters into it. I don't know. We'll figure something out. It'll be kind of fun. Our next Palooza will be in October, so everyone always has plenty of notice for this one because we do the same thing every year. It's our Pinktober Palooza. So remember, in October, but remember, if you are going to do an entry, you cannot start it until we give the go-ahead, because everyone has the same time frame then. That's the idea. And trust me, we check. Caught a few people out, a few naughty people in the past who have tried to cheat the system. And it's not in the spirit of what we do. And I've got to figure out a fun prize this year, because this one, because we're changing up the prizes from last time. Try a Huel ready to drink. You can buy one bottle in Sainsbury's. Recommend the latte version. Ooh, I do like coffee flavoured things. You're speaking to me here, Snowblinky. You're speaking to me. Anything coffee related, I'm in. I do love my coffee. It's like, now I'm just like, coffee. As a fair warning, I have a timer on my watch for when I need to go and check on the ribs, so at some point I may have to dash out and just quickly check on the ribs. So, how much is on my timer? I think it's still got some time. 20 minutes. So I'll have to dash out and check on the ribs. Just need to decide if they need to stay covered for a bit longer in the oven, or if they need to come out. Or not come out, if they need to go back in uncovered. But isn't that what Custodes and Stormcast Eternals are for? Just non-metallic metaling? Oh, you know what? When people do a full army of those, all non-metallic metaled up, they are a sight to behold. It's incredibly impressive, because it's such a labour-intensive process. And to get the consistency across the whole army is incredible. So it's always very satisfying when I see people do that. Do 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 do. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing all good in the hood. I'm excited for Sunday stream as well, just because I like my Sunday streams. It felt really weird last week not streaming on Sunday. I felt very confused and out of place. So I'm excited about... I'm always excited about streaming, but I'm always like, yeah, Sundays. I love my Sundays. It's become such a part of my routine in the last 6 years. I'm just like, whew. Whereas we've, because we always did the... What did we do? We always did the Sundays. Then we added a Thursday in originally. And that was our news night. And then we did Wednesdays. And then we've kind of moved the other days around a bit. Although we did find out when we were looking at our 6-year stats, we've never ever streamed on a Tuesday. So at some point we have to do like a 24-hour stream on a Tuesday. Over the bank holiday, though, I may do a bonus stream on the Saturday. I'm just waiting to confirm something first. But I think we may do. And if I do, I'll announce that on Sunday stream. Might be that we do another big backlog buster stream, so it might be a long one. So we just try and get through, and I think the goal there will be to try and finish off as much of the Custodes as we can. That'll be the nice thing to do. I know I've got a lot of projects on the go at the minute. We've been doing some Blood Ravens, we've been doing our Necromunda diorama. There's a lot going on. Okay, I think we have hit most of the brown I need to do on this. New professions in the 40k universe. The Health and Safety Commissar. I love it. They shoot you if you don't cross the battlefield in a safety... I love the idea that there would be... I mean, someone's got to be in charge of health and safety in the Imperium. The amount of hazard stripes that exist in the 41st millennium, somebody has got to be in charge of doing the health and safety. I don't know who, but it's like some... I love the idea that it is a health and safety commissar, as you put it, Sanjiro. Just like, yep. It's like, you didn't do the thing. Like, first warning, I'm going to write you up. Second warning, you're getting a shot to the head. Depending on the severity of it. I'm up for that. There's a lot of hazard stripes. Someone's got to be doing health and safety, right? Oh yeah, speaking of stream anniversary, it was my 4th on the 8th of August. Oh, hell yes! That'd be awesome. That's awesome. Was it nice to be back up and streaming on Sunday for the first time? And it was fun watching you play Power Wash Sim for the 10 minutes before I had to leave the house. But I left a lurk. It always helps. So one of the best things you can ever do to help people on this platform, not just myself, it's everybody, is drop into their stream, say hi, and then don't mute the stream, mute the tab if you can, and then just basically leave a lurk. It helps everybody out so much. So if there is a particular streamer that you want to support, but all our lurkers, we love you all. Thank you so much for helping us out and keeping us going. And everyone who's active and chatty as well is always amazing. But it's the best way to help out anyone on the platform. So, and I think it works the same on YouTube's. Hello, YouTube's. Whoever's there on YouTube's. Hope you're all doing well. We're still learning on the YouTube multi-streamy thing. But hey, yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Hope you're all working away on fun projects. Looking forward to seeing what people have been doing on the Sunday Showcase. And then last Friday we did whips. I think I'm going to make every other Friday a whip. We'll do a little bit of a whip community showcase, which means that we did it last week, so we'll do it next week. So I think it'd be nice to do so. You people can get some help and advice on what they're working on. I mean, you guys can always redeem that in the chat anyway, whenever you need to. We've got a redemption for it. But yeah, it's always nice to do. We'll always do Sundays or be show it off finished work. I'm always happy to do so. Yeah, lots of Star Wars cleaning. Wait, what are you doing? Why are you Star Wars cleaning? What have I missed right here? Wait, what? Instead of a power sword, the Health and Safety Commissar is armed with a power clipboard. I like that. The power clipboard. It is me, the Health and Safety Commissar. It's like, I like the idea that it's like the driving instructor where they tap the clipboard when they want you to do an emergency stop. But they tap the clipboard if you've done something wrong. And they tap it again. It's actually not them tapping it. It's them reloading. It's like, well, you had your chance. I mean, like I said, the amount of hazard stripes in the 41st millennium, someone's got to be in charge of health and safety, right? It's got to be somebody's job. But I also like the idea that what if every faction has it? What if there's just like a bone singer going up to like an Eldari like Farseer, just going, just like, I'm really sorry. It's like, unfortunately, this is not up to code. Or a Gretchen. I reckon it's a Gretchen in charge of it for the orcs. It's just like a little Gretchen walking up, just going, no. It's like it's just boss. You got to put some hazard checkers on that. Boss, no. Oh, that's why I was cleaning the new Star Wars DLC for people. Oh, but my brain was not connecting. I haven't played any. I own Power Wash Simulator 2. I haven't played any of it yet. I just haven't got around to playing it. I wanted to finish the 40k stuff for Power Wash in Simulator 1. But then I realised how big of a job that is, so I was like, oh no. No. It's been a good month for because I think with GTA 6 finally giving its release date, a lot of people, both big companies and indie devs, have like pulled forward their release dates. There's a lot of stuff that's like released a lot quicker, like earlier than people were expecting. So there's been a lot of great content being released for video games in the last week or so. A lot of 1.0 releases as well, so which has been really, really cool. So it's been nice to see a lot of games get their full release. So, which is nice. I'm still making my way through a Mass Effect playthrough and replay through. I'm on the halfway through the second game now, and at the same time doing my first proper Cyberpunk playthrough, which is really fun. The DLC is on my wish list, but I'm saving up for Zero Company. Ooh, is that out now? I didn't realize that was out. Is that out? I feel like apart from playing a lot of on stream, we've been playing a lot. We played Peak last week because that got its final update, which was good fun. So we played that with the community in the chat, and then we obviously play Space Marine 2 with the community, which is always really good fun. So we've been playing a bit of that. But I'm trying to think what else we've been playing on stream. I do want to get myself into a really big like fun routine of doing a nice big story game on stream. I don't know what it'll be, but I want to do a big narrative one. The Persona's been thrown around a little bit, that we could do like a Persona stream. Claire Obscura was on there as well. I get nervous playing something too story related though, because like Claire Obscura, because I know that people will come in and spoil it. Not everybody, but there's always a risk. Yeah, and I know that one's such a big story narrative one. I could actually finally finish Skyrim for the first time ever. The main quest on Skyrim. It's probably not going to be that. Zero Company released on the 27th, so you can buy it, download it already, but not play it. Oh, that's going to be cool. Yeah, I haven't really... I've got like things like Arc Raiders and stuff, which not story-wise, just PvP and fun-wise, but I haven't played it at all. I've been really behind in playing a lot of the games I've been purchasing. It's very naughty of me. Same with my miniatures. I'm behind on painting the miniatures that I buy. Although we're getting through. So far, I think after I finish this box of Custodes, I believe that means everything I've purchased this year I've painted. Which is amazing. That's a great thing. We're ignoring the cupboard of everything I've bought in previous years, but this year, it's a good sign. Oh, actually, that's not true. There's 2 other miniatures I've purchased that haven't made it onto the painting desk yet. One was the limited edition Warhammer Plus mini, and the other was Inquisitor Croyle, because he looked really fun, and I ended up just picking him up randomly. Oh, hold on, no. Didn't I get a Warhammer World this year? Was that tail end of last year? I can't remember when I went. Maybe I did buy more than I thought. It's fine. In terms of things I remember, just these. I'm pretty sure I've been a pretty lenient year on what I was purchasing so far. Pretty sure I did. We started with an AT-AT, and then we had the Super Star Destroyer bridge, and we finished off with an X-Wing. Ooh. I really hope they should do like a Knights of the Old Republic mod where you can like clean the Ebon Hawk, but it's like cleaning the Ebon Hawk after the battle. So it's like it's been captured. There's like dead bodies everywhere. It's a mix between like serial cleaner and Power Wash Sim at that point. Right, so now we need gold. We need gold. Where's my aged metal gold? There it is. Age metal. Okie dokie. Right, the brown is on, so we've got the brown colour on here for the Dreadnought, so which means that we're almost at the point, so we've got what? Considering this wasn't even built 40 minutes ago, and we've already got 2 colours on it already, I'm pretty happy with that one. Taking pictures to document my journey, because I always forget what I do, and I always tell people to do it. I'm like, remember, take photos of what you're doing, because you'll remember the paints you're using. And I forget all the time. Shaky, shaky, shake. Shake it off. Shake it off. Tell you what, I am very much appreciating this cooler weather, though. I think everyone else is probably in the same boat. It is lovely. It's blooming lovely, this much cooler weather. Still a little on the damp side. It's better. It's been nice, although the rumours are that we are going to get another September heatwave here in the UK, which I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it anymore. I don't want any more heat. Please, please, no more heat. Like, I don't want it. Like, please, please, no more. Like, any other country, don't get me wrong, I love hot weather. Like, you know, I'll travel for hot weather, like, very happily. But for some reason, we're just not built for it in the UK. It's just something else. It's unbearable. It's just the lack of aircon everywhere. Plus, to be fair, I feel like I don't know if anybody else can handle another heat wave. Especially like all the pets and things out there. Like poor Milkshake is just like, please. Now it's cooler, he's back to his normal lounging spots, like on the windowsill and stuff. Whereas before, he was very selective about where he lounged. He found like a few spots in the bathroom, in the hallway that had like no sun had touched it at all, and he was like, cool weather. So I'm like really hoping he he doesn't have to go through too much hot weather, bless him. A little bit aggressive with how I'm dabbing in some of these golds, because I really need to get into these nook and crannies. Areas down here. Bordering on stippling and then dry brushing. These are incredibly detailed models, so I want to make sure I'm getting all the nice bits of gold in where I want it. It's just creating this nice rough texture. But then the brown underneath, it's just leaving those kind of like nice warm tone shadows. So again, they're pretty quick with the gold. Honestly, these True Metallic Metal Vallejo paints are absolutely brilliant for just quick colours. They work a treat. And it's nice on this Custodes because he's such a big model. You can get quite a lot of detail done on here. Pretty fast because it's mainly just dry brushing. And obviously we can go back in afterwards and pick out some other details if there's other metals on here. Maybe I don't want gold. Should be nice and quick and easy to do. But again, super fast, which is really, really nice to see. Just working through, smashing it up, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. I just feel like the brown on it adds so much more depth. I can see why it's a good base color for non-metallic metal, but for this quick and easy true metallic metal way, works an absolute treat. It's just a bit of a tight gap there, so I'm just going to grab my slightly smaller dry brush. Oh, I was using the small dry brush. I had a medium this whole time. I could have sped this up. Well, okay. So I need my even smaller dry brush, which is my Artis Opus one. Just to get right on into these areas here. Oh, I still think this isn't actually small enough. Oh no. Need an even smaller dry brush. So I've just got a rough brush I can use. I've got a couple here. So many of my brushes have just become a little bit default, kind of battered a little bit, bless them. It's like, yep, they just become this now. for little tight areas like these on these Custodes that I've needed the focus points for dry brushing. Luckily, though, with a bit of brush and conditioner, it will be spot on. It will all be sorted. It'll be great. So, repair the brushes at that point. So we get into these little tight little corners over here and get these all sorted. Because we were talking about The Simpsons and Futurama. Ever since then, I've had the theme song for The Simpsons going around in my head. I'm hyped for the new Simpsons movie. I feel like it's going to be fun to see one so much later, like after the last one. Because the last one was a good. It felt like it should have done, which was just a really long episode of The Simpsons. Didn't feel like a film. It just felt like this is a great episode of The Simpsons, which is kind of the fact they managed to achieve that was really impressive. So I'm hoping they do the same thing with this new episode, which I don't think we've had much on the story about yet. Although I have to admit, I feel like I want them to do the return of Hank Scorpio at some point. He was one of my favourite side characters on The Simpsons. Just random one-off character, was Homer's boss, and he was just an absolute hilarious supervillain. It was so much fun. And just Homer was just like liked him for who he was. He was just like, and he really appreciated Homer for who he was as well. I was like, aww. It was a really fun. Just like Homer actually had a job for a change that he absolutely adored. It's like, let's go. I'm trying to work out, was the voice of Hank Scorpio? Was that the same person who did like the main villain in the Simpsons film? I felt like the voice was familiar. Wait, if I just connected two dots, I didn't realise we're connected before? Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on now. I don't know if it was. They definitely seemed similar. Now I'm remembering. I'm like, wait a second. Need to go back. You need to do some IMDb research after stream. Be like, wait a minute. Nearly there with the gold. Well, the main body anyway. I've still got the sword and the shield to do. Luckily, the shield, I think I'm going to marble most of it, so we don't need masses of gold dry brushed onto there. But I would like to get some really nice gold dry brushed onto this. I think this is already matching up with the Custodes very nicely, which is lovely to see. Big fan of that. And just get these on here. And just this other leg. I'm hoping I've timed this fairly well. By the time I finish this dry brushing, should hopefully be about around the time I need to go and check on the food in the oven. And check on, I don't know, I might be ahead of myself, might be, I mean the timer hasn't gone off, so I'm not behind on where I thought I was going to be. So, which would be very cool if I've got that roughly where I need it to be. I'd be like, ooh, unintentionally well timed. I haven't been paying attention to the time, I've just been kind of plodding along getting stuff done. So if this has worked out well, then yay! I think we're not far off this. Obviously this is going to need a shade and a wash over it. That would be the perfect timing if I could get the shade on it while I quickly run and check the oven. Because then I could just get the shade to dry while I'm finishing this off. I mean, the plan's not to finish this today, so... Ooh. That is my timer on my watch, so you'll have to forgive me a moment where I run and quickly check on the oven. Hey, nice one, Rusty. Smashing the tactical squad. Love it, love it. What's next on the list? Right, you'll have to give me a moment. I'm just going to throw the BRB screen back up for just a minute while I run out. I'm going to check on the ribs in the oven. I've got to take them out, make sure, see how they're cooking, and see how much longer they need. So bear with me a moment. I will be right back. You're all awesome. I'm back from ribs. Ribs smell amazing. The whole house smells awesome. Oh, sorry, Rusty. Before you go, is Verity still here? She is in the kitchen. I don't know if she's accessible in chat. But what's occurring? Everything okay? I took a picture of the ribs. I'm going to put the ribs in the Discord. I'm like, ribs. And... Is everything okay, Rusty? I hope everything's alright. Sorry, I missed that. I was dashing out because the timer was going nuts on my arm. And I'm going to put a picture of the ribs in the Discord. Food. So we got nice dry rubber ribs. Okay, put the pictures of the ribs in the Discord in case anybody was interested to see. I might bring them up. Why not? No worries. Bit of a cat situation. I can really do some assurance right now because the anxiety demons are being jerks. Anything I can help with at all? It's all. Hopefully, it's something I can help alleviate somehow. Is everything okay with Jack, or is that the concern that you're worried about? You said you were keeping an eye on him before. Is everything okay? And it's going to sound weird, but what would you say is the most amount of days in a row Milkshake has had a hairball? To be honest, not massively often, but that's more he's not a if he does so, he's probably it's when he's over-groomed himself, normally at the turn of the weather, because like a lot of his like winter coat is coming out, or he's getting his winter coat, and he's not, and then we have a random like hot day. So normally like a day or two, but he doesn't get them very often anyway. However, he's notorious for eating his food too fast and like throwing up, if that makes sense. So it's kind of one of those like he might throw up for other reasons, but. Has Jack had a few hairballs, few days in a row, is he? A lot of the time it's when their coat is changing. So it's like so right now Milkshake's a bit confused. We're brushing him quite a bit more than we normally would at the minute for Milkshake, because it's this rapid cool off in temperature. He's almost started producing his winter coat, but we know it's not winter yet, if that makes sense. It was the same when we had the weird heat spell earlier on in the year. He was shedding his winter coat, and then he was like, so we were like helping him groom himself by just brushing him a lot. Okay, so Jack has had 4 days running now, and I'm scared stiff. That doesn't seem like too unusual. I can't. When I've had a previous cat before Milkshake, he would, when he was grooming himself quite a lot. Sometimes if cat can over-groom, it might be a sign that they're nervous about something, but most of the time it's the change of weather coat thing. And they just keep licking and licking and licking. And I remember he had I took him to the vets because he had hairballs about sort of like 7 or 8 days in a row. And they were like, yeah, he's fine. He's just an idiot. He keeps grooming himself. And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if that's any sort of form of reassurance. The best thing I would say, though, is if you're ever worried, if your vet has got like a web chat or something, jump onto that and be like, oh, I'm a bit worried. He's, hairballing. I mean, if it's just hair coming out, it might just be that the change in weather. If it's been really hot, has Jack not been grooming himself? Would probably be the question I have. Because it's been so hot. If he hasn't been grooming himself much, and then now he started to because it's cooled down a bit, it might just be that he's just a bit furrier than normal, and maybe help him out by giving him a good brush. But I'm also not a vet, so I feel like if it's something that's worrying yourself, there'll be no harm in jumping onto a web chat with your vets or taking him to the vets if you're able to do so. Yeah, they do. It's close now, though. He has been grooming himself. That might just be, as long as it's been, like I said, if he's just grooming himself, it's pretty standard at the turn of the weather. That happens quite a lot with cats. They'll because the weather's been so wild at the minute. I know that is something that is definitely they're all a little bit confused, bless them, because they're like, wait, it's really hot, so hold on, it's hotter than normal. And so they're almost too hot to groom themselves because it's quite a sort of thing. I don't know if any of that helped. I hope it did help in some way. He's eating and drinking. He's using the litter tray, nagging for food. It's literally just hairballs. That sounds like a good sign then. This might sound a bit gross. Is he got particularly hairy poops? If that makes any sense. It might sound a bit of a gross one, but basically, if he's got if he's over grooming himself, it might be that obviously he's passing out hair both ends. So if if he's coming out as a furball, it's a sign that obviously he's just getting it before it passes through his system. Which if it passes through his system, that's also fine. Not as I've noticed. Okay, yeah, so it sounds like he's just he's over grooming himself with the change of the weather, or this rapid cool off that it's been, because it's got, I think now it's nearly 15 to 20 degrees cooler. Like this morning it was like 8 degrees walking to work. I was like, this is lovely. It's so much cooler. Milkshake is definitely be grooming himself a lot more, so I've been helping out by brushing him. So maybe, yeah, just keep an eye on it. I hope that helped in some way. I obviously not a vet. I can only speak from experience with our own little kitty boy. But he does tend to when the weather changes either to very hot or very cold, he does tend to groom himself more than normal, which is the occasions he then does have hairballs. But he doesn't have that many. But that's just more he's a very special cat. I hope that maybe he's giving you some reassurance, but best thing I'd say is keep an eye on him. If he's eating and he's drinking and he's his normal, usual personal self, that's a good sign. If he's very different to normal, so if he's not eating, he's not drinking, and he's only grooming himself, that's sometimes a sign of cat anxiety, because he won't eat, he won't drink, things like that. So yeah. Hey Sal, thank you. I didn't know who to ask. A friend of mine had a cat, but she recently passed. I didn't want to bother him so soon afterwards. Hey, never a bother. You're not bothering at all asking questions like that. And I'm sorry to hear about your friend's cat. I hope they are doing okay for it. I fully get that as well. If something happens to like a friend's pet or something, I immediately become hyper paranoid about Milkshake. Whether that friend's pet has passed or whether that friend's pet is just ill, I immediately become like, oh, I have to keep an eye on Milkshake. Like I become almost overzealous with him. So I fully get that. So yeah, I definitely So, but any cat related questions like that, feel free to ping. There's loads of cat people in the Discord as well. So if you ever stuck for who to ask, always feel free to ping in there. I think a lot of us have all got cats. I think nearly all, as in like out of the mod squad, I think only 2 don't have cats. So it always helps. You have all the guardian beans and such. But yeah, if Jax is normal self, that's a really good sign. totally get it. Can't watch anything where a cat goes into bother anymore. No. Oh man, it's always animals in films. That's where I always get nervous. It's when film and TV they go, oh, we want someone to be truly evil. Let's have them harm a pet, and you're like, don't you dare. Like, no. You can blow up an orphanage, or you can, do whatever to an old folks home, or all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. And the moment you hurt an animal, like a cat or a dog or any animal, I'm like, no, bad person. That's always what it is. Films know how to get us. It's probably a bigger conversation there around how about desensitized to I am to the other stuff. I'm like, I tapped out on John Wick after about 20 minutes because that thing happens. I mean, I feel like what John Wick does after that bit at the beginning is the most reasonable reaction anyone would do in that situation. I stand by it. Like that's a completely reasonable reaction. Feel like, somebody did something like that to Milkshake, that would probably be my reaction. Feel it's fair. I get that. It was supposed to be a call to adventure, but nah, still an nah for me. Yeah, it's like one that always gets me is Homeward Bound. Yeah, 1 and 2. Like, I know full well that they all make it in the end, but I'm just like, ah. There's always that moment where you're like, no, 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 not a fan, not a fan. It always gets me. I'm like, Somebody at work said they could see me doing a John Wick if something happened to Pablo. Again, perfectly reasonable explanation, reaction. I think of somebody, you know. I feel that's it. I mean, I see no difference in the reaction between what Liam Neeson's character does in Taken versus what John Wick does in what Keanu Reeves' character does in obviously in John Wick. I see no difference in that. Both of those are reasonable reactions. It's yep. How's Pablo doing? Has Pablo been alright in the heat? I know my mum's dog, bless him, he's been struggling, but he's been being very looked after. He's got lots of nice comfy cool areas and things. How's Pablo been doing? I think a lot of pet lovers would, yeah. No, he's been struggling. Oh, bless him. No. It's like, nope, not a fan. You're too hot. Oh, bless. It sounds like luckily we're definitely at the tail end of it now. I know they have predicted potentially another September heatwave, but at least hopefully we'll all be a bit more prepared for it by then. This one was just relentless, wasn't it? It just kept going and going. So I feel like for Milkshake, what I was doing to help cool Milkshake down on really rough days was I was taking like a small microfiber cloth, so like kind of one of these, taking one of these sort of microfiber cloths, like a clean one, running it under the tap, and then like kind of lightly wringing it out, and then placing it like this in the freezer, just placing it like flat like that in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes. It would then go really stiff because it would be cold, and then I would just lay it on Milkshake. Honestly, he was loving it. He was absolutely loving it. He was just like, and then it would last about 45 minutes to an hour before he'd kind of go, I've just got a wet flannel on me now, so I'm going to get off. Though that was a really helpful tip for Milkshake, because he's not a really, he'll sit in the shade, like under the table. He'll just find all the places where the sun can't get to him in the flat. But putting those on him, as soon as I heard open the freezer, he'd come up like, meow. And he quite liked that to help him cool down. Because it didn't really leave him wet. It just left him kind of cold, which was nice. Also, as well, I definitely did some of those for me and Verity. It was like, there was times where I was like sat on the sofa and me and Verity would look at each other and we'd just be like, hi. It's just I have these draped over us. Like, it's warm. I've got a 200-pound fan on back order for him. Oh, sounds like a fancy fan. What's this fancy fan? Is it one of the ones that has a mist? Or is it like a Dyson one? I think I'm pretty happy with that. I know this needs another go over with where did I just put? I might have the paintbrush. Under the chest a bit more. Cool. His coat is like a rug, God bless him. It's a misting fan. It's meant to cool the air down. Ooh, that's a good shout. We have the little aircon unit we have in here sometimes, wherever it's gone. That has a mist function, and that definitely makes a difference. Definitely makes a difference. It's like, it's like, that feels nice. Right, yeah, so next stage of this is done. The dry brushing of the first layer is done over the brown, so I'm very happy with that. I'm going to take a quick picture so I can remember the progress, the progress I'm doing. I'm trying to be good at taking pictures of as I do things, because I don't take whip shots very often. I need to be better at doing it. And then I'm excited to do, because I always find when I look at the photos, I tend to see more that I may have missed. Ironically, the mist is coming up again there. So like I'll see other areas where I'm like, to me it looks like I've got all the areas, but then actually when I look at it, I'm like, no, I've missed a few bits. So yeah, there's like a little bit in that leg I've missed out. So I'm just going to grab the brush, hit those bits. Size 1. Where's the size 0 brush just gone? There it is. And hey, Cooper Shell, enjoy redeeming your daily bean. I hope you're doing all right. Daily beans. Do. Daily bean, daily bean. Ooh, let's get that in there. Ooh, that's nice. I realised I didn't put a timer on my watch for the second timer for the ribs. Hoping they should be getting a nice crust on them now. Oh, did I put the pictures in the Discord? This is the ribs I was making. Feel like I want to show people the ribs. Ribs. So this was the crust I put on the ribs. Ribs. This was the dry rub I put on here, like I covered it. But then obviously the layer in between the dry rub and the ribs is like a rubbing of Dijon mustard. There's a really nice dry rub mix on there. So I'm like, ooh, hey Cooper Shower, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So yeah, it's the dry rub on there. It's on both sides. Then I put the ribs in the oven for how long were they in the oven for? I put them in the oven for about 48 minutes on a really low temperature, but like covered in foil so they could steam a little bit. And they're looking mighty fine right now, I have to admit. They're in the oven now, getting like a nice bark crust on them. Barbecue talk. Let's go. But I'm quite excited. So that's me. Yeah, that's when I ran and checked a few minutes ago. I'm like, do. So I'm like, ribs. I haven't made ribs at home in ages. I always tend to make chicken wings because they're much easier and normally cheaper. But this was reduced, so I was like, ooh, let's go. Love a yellow sticker. I'm a bit of a yellow sticker hunter when I go shopping. Not like to the degree of like, you know, when you see people getting aggressive over yellow stickers, I'm never that way. But I love looking at the reduced stuff and going, you know what? Most people would turn their nose up at reduced something, a bit of protein or something and that. And I look at it and go, oh, I can make some meals and the next day I'll sow with that. Like, you know, it'd be fine. Or I can bung it straight in the freezer and I can do something random with it. So I love it. It's like the invention tests and stuff on MasterChef. They're one of my favourite, like, ooh, what would I do with this? I do this, and this. Which is always a good time. Okay, so I hope I've got time to put a shade on these. Because once I put the shade on, then it's just a case of waiting for that to dry. It's hitting up some of these areas where I've definitely missed a bit with the paintbrush. Where there's a difference between having a dark area showing underneath than absolutely no paint on it whatsoever. So I'm just trying to make sure I've got both of those areas filled. These little bits on the inside of the legs are surprisingly tricky to get. So just stippling those works a treat. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of need trying to think about what TV show to watch next, because I always like having a TV show on in the background while I'm doing things, and I'm just about to I've got like 6 episodes left of the final season of Grimm, which is a great show, by the way. Grimm's fantastic if you haven't seen it. It's on Amazon Prime. Would very much recommend. It's a good show. 5 or 6 seasons? 6 seasons, I think. So I'm kind of just coming towards the end of that. So I'm like, okay, I need to think about what to watch next. I know that they've just put out the new season of Reacher, so I'll probably start watching that, but otherwise I'm not sure. I like a good bit of background TV, something I don't need to watch too intensely, but I can just kind of sit and be like, ooh. Like, you know, and normally something I've watched before, hence why Supernatural's normally on the loop of shows I'll watch again. So I'm trying to think what to do otherwise. That is the sterling silver shade. I'm just looking for my shade for this pot. Aged metal shade. And I'll thin it down ever so. Dun, Get this covered in the shade. Mix that with probably, I normally thin it partially, but not too heavily. So where's my spirit medium that I use? Spirit medium. Although I am running very low on this. Oh no. I have to pick up some more medium to mix everything with. I don't know if I can buy this 2 thin coat spirit medium. I hope so, because it's been pretty good for most of my paint recipes I've used of late. So I'm hoping I can pick it up again. And we're just going quite heavy with a wash on this, which is always quite nice. So on that nice real grim dark gold. This might be a little on the darker side, but it'll get us to where we need, because we'll be able to go back in afterwards, because it's got like a slight brownish hue, this aged metal shade. Works really well. And once we get all the gold done, all we've got to do is work on all the other bits that aren't gold. Always really nice to get them on there. Why don't I feel like I was humming the EastEnders theme song? The random tunes that are in my head this evening. Because I haven't got background music on, so I'm having to like play music in my head to be like la 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 la, fill the void. I quite like the guys, Pat and Sean, on have you ever seen them on YouTube or Instagram? But they do like the random song mashups. But every time they sing a lyric, they kind of like switch clothes. Their songs play a lot in my head. If you haven't seen those though, check them out. I think it's just like Pat and Sean on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. Their mashups are fantastic. They do like, here's my song at 3. Here's what happens in my head at like 3 a.m. after going to like punk pop night or something. They'll just mash up a load of songs and they're really good. Yeah, I would recommend them if you haven't checked them out. Now I've got Alton Towers song in my head. Almost covered over with the wash. It's nice. That's a proper aged green hue to these guys. And go back in with the light colour dry brush afterwards. Really pick out some lovely details. Might go back over with the base colour on this guy a lot because he's just very one note at the moment, but a lot of that will just be the initial wash, I think. I've got most of the areas here. Definitely put way too much wash in this pot that I definitely didn't need to put in here. But it's lovely wash. Whoa, he fell. You there. Let's do a little bit across the gold bits of the shield. Now, leaving a lot of the shield black because that's what we're going to cover with the marble effect later on. Now, probably should have done the marble before I painted in all the gold in hindsight, but that would be a fun experiment for us to use some of the airbrush covering putty and some liquid mask to see how much of it I can kind of cover. So everything's a journey. Everything's a bit of fun to kind of learn and figure out how we're going to go approach this next, which is going to be very nice. Put that on there, and then we go into this thing. I love the fact that the sword has a flamer built into the hilt. The idea that you'll just be like, aha, you've been stabbed, and somehow you survived a massive stab from a power weapon from this giant ancient mech. And then you go, if you somehow survive, don't worry. It's going to press a button and just go, and flames. It's like, you gotta love the Custodes ingenuity there a little bit. Okay, well, that wash just needs to settle now. So I feel like at this point, because we're at the stage where the wash needs to settle, and I'm not far off my food being ready, I think, if I'm honest, we will probably call stream there. A nice little 3-hour stream, which has been really, really fun to do. So yeah, we'll wrap up the stream for everybody on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching on YouTube. So I hope you've enjoyed the show, which has been really, really cool. We'll be back on Sunday at 2 p.m. as per normal, doing our normal Sunday painting stream, plus our Sunday showcase where we show off all the community miniatures, which will be great. So and if you've liked this, don't forget please to hit that like button, subscribe, and notification bell if you've enjoyed it. So, but for everyone on YouTube, thank you.